You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Dun 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 dun. Hello, Internet, and welcome to a podcast that takes place far in the future. 2020 still, but it seems like that should be much further in the future, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Why, though? Why does it feel so futuristic today? Is it all these robots that are on the Holland deck today?
It's true. Yes, because everything that media has told us is that 2020 is going to be a technological wonderland far, far in the future.
Well, there's one job the robots can't
Nothing
take
we'll
away.
get to in our 30s at all.
No,
period.
No. They can't take podcasting away.
No.
Although I say that, but simultaneously...
The ancient art of podcastery.
I say that, but simultaneously, I'm wondering I'm really curious what a robot podcast would be like with like two robot hosts that are just like learning as they do it.
Oh, it's called Fox News. But Steve Ducey. I know that was political. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay away from politics. So, but I don't think he's a good newscaster anyway, regardless of his affiliation.
There you go.
Well, today on TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games, a weekly podcast where we talk about old games and time-traveling television shows from the 90s that only lasted 44 episodes.
Yeah, we're playing our way through every Super Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a joke?
Which part of that was a joke? Two truths and a lie.
It's all true. It's all true. Everything from here on out will be a lie, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, courtesy of the randomizer, we are playing Time Trax.
Time Trax with an X. Was there a porn parody, do you think, with like Time Trax with like 3 X's?
Yeah, there you go.
Time
Pretty
Trax.
good. Anal Trax.
Anal Trax. I don't like that. Who would be so who would be the actors in that movie?
In Anal Trax?
No. I mean, I guess... Well, I feel like time to anal is a big stretch. And I did mean that pun to exist.
That's Time to Anal, subtitle, a big stretch. Oh, man. But who actors in what win?
What would the porn actors be in Time Trax? I just want people to know up front, new listeners to know what kind of shit they're getting into. We do this here.
Well, courtesy of Melissa, I know that the main character in Time Trax,
which was a television
show in the United States in 1993 that lasted 2 seasons.
Yeah, way too long.
Yeah,
way too long.
But the actor Dale Mitkiff is also in one of Melissa's favorite movies, Elvis and Me. So
Elvis in Me?
Elvis. That's the porn parody, Elvis in
Me? There's a question mark.
He does rape his wife, so I guess it is sort of Elvis in Me.
So it's kind of porn.
Yeah. I mean, Priscilla Presley helped make the movie, and she was like, yep, this is in there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, all right. Are you sure?
All right.
Okay. I've never seen that movie. I've never had Elvis in me.
Melissa loves Elvis. Been to Graceland multiple times. Took me to Graceland. But
yeah, I remember that.
She's a big fan of Elvis. She said she loves that movie.
Yeah.
Because we were watching Time Trax, the game. She's like, is that the cartoon version of Elvis from Elvis and Me? So courtesy of IMDb, yes, it is.
That was a very good pull on her part because wow, what else has the actor been in?
A bunch of shit.
Really?
A whole bunch of shit.
I've probably seen him before.
Yeah.
I know that Master Mold on Twitter said that he looked like the dad from Pet Sematary. Do you have any idea if it was indeed him?
I don't remember seeing that to his credit. It could be, though.
I'll look him up. I'll get right on that. Do you?
But what porn actor most closely resembles Elvis? I mean, start from there.
In 1993. That's going to really be a problem.
Is James Dean around in 1993?
I was going James Dean too. But I mean, I'm sure he was around.
I'm sure he might have been like
12.
I mean, still probably a giant dick, right?
I mean, yeah, that probably.
Or Peter North. Would Peter North be Elvis?
Yeah, probably Peter North, just because, like, I feel like in the early 90s, Peter North was, like, the only one who wasn't, like, a big fat guy. You know what I mean?
The only one who wasn't Ron Jeremy.
Right.
And that about exists my limits of naming male porn actors.
Well, I mean,
Lexington Steele, but I don't think he's playing Elvis.
Why not? We go against
That's
tight.
true. That's true.
Not in 93, so that's fair. That's fair. Can't have Idris Elba as Elvis. Not in 93. I would love to see that, by the way. That'd be great. A porn version or a real version.
Yeah, Idris Elba's a beautiful man, so yes, either way.
Of a black British man playing a Southern music sensation. I would pay to see that.
But Elvis modeled a lot of his moves and his singing style from black people, because he would go to church, and
I learned that from Forrest Gump.
Yep. That wonderful squealing sound you probably heard was my apple juice and Goldschlager.
Oh, you'll be a fun boy tonight.
Num. I mean, it's time to celebrate.
Is it?
Oh yeah, Time Trax is gonna be a great episode.
Oh, to celebrate.
Time to celebrate. This will be a good episode. The game we'll get to.
Very confident.
Very confident.
If this doesn't turn out to be a good episode,
I'm following the secret right now, Dave. So it's on my dream board of things I'm going to make reality. Time Trax will be a good episode.
Perfect. Man, I was going to ask about all these time mood boards that you had up here in the Holland deck.
It's fucking full of them.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm really, really into the secret. I'm scrolling down some show notes. Time Trax, Elvis and me.
Dale, spell his last name.
Midkiff.
All right. Like midriff? Dale Midriff.
Exactly.
He was the dad. That's the first listing. Dale Midkiff, actor, Pet Cemetery. That was him. Was him.
All right.
Master Mold nailed it. Did you watch any Time Trax, the TV show, to prepare for this?
The introduction to it.
It's hard to find pretty much anything else.
Yep.
Because it's not like streaming anywhere. There's one full
and
episode.
Why would it be?
Yeah, well, only for podcasters, I guess, who are going to cover Time Trax.
Yeah, only for that group of people who are loving Time Trax.
Do you think that we should do a Patreon bonus series when Call of Cthulhu is over, Piggy Palace? We just do a weekly podcast on Time Trax, one episode per episode.
That we can find.
I think a lot of them are on Daily Motion. That's where I found it.
Yeah.
After I accidentally watched a full episode of Time Cop and really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't...
That's Jean-Claude Van Damme, right?
I have never seen the movie, but yes, Jean-Claude Van Damme is in the movie Time Cop, and then there's a TV show, Time Cop, which does not have Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. But I thought it was pretty good. Like, viewing it through the lens of like, okay, this is a cheesy 90s sci-fi thing. When I watched Time Trax, I did not have that experience. I was like, I cannot believe that this was on the air longer than Time Cop, because this is, I don't know, man. I'm sure someone out here is listening because they're like, oh shit, they got a Google News alert. Time Trax.
No one ever talks
Holy
about Time Trax.
Shit, let me get in on that. And they're like, okay, I'm going to sit through this weird porn stuff they're talking about. Yeah. All right, finally, they're talking about Time Trax. What do you mean you don't like it? Then why are you doing a show on it?
Why are you playing the game? Why are you playing I'm looking at your episode list, and all these games are so bad. Why are you doing... Is anybody even listening to this? No, not really.
No one really is.
But when we commit to something, damn it.
I mean, except for all the fine people who are absolutely listening to this right now. Thank you.
Although I would like if we draw... The randomizer gives us good games, like, say, Chrono Trigger, Earthbound, Final Fantasy VI.
But that's done, dude.
I make this proposal.
But that's done. We've already done IGN's Top 100
We
Super Nintendo
have.
games.
But what about them randomized?
So when we're done with this, you want to redo...
If the randomizer gives us one of those games randomly when we're choosing at the end of every episode, it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll do that game randomized.
What do you mean we'll do it randomized?
Well, like the Final Fantasy 1 randomizer that...
but what about games that we like that don't have randomizers?
Oh, no, I mean, just for the good games we wouldn't mind revisiting.
Oh, I see. I mean, look...
To give us a little bit of a break from
are you getting more
from Turd Fest?
You feeling it?
That, and I want people to be like, oh, I like that game. I'll listen to this.
Oh, I see. You're just
Yeah.
interested in the numbers.
I want
see.
some numbers again. I'm a little bit of a size queen.
Yeah, so you're committed to the randomizer, but not like committed to the randomizer.
Hey, it's the randomizer
I
still
get it.
giving it. I'm double downing on the randomizer.
Oh, so you're
it
saying-
randomly gives us something, so we'll play that version randomized.
What do we do? A bonus episode on it instead.
Okay.
And it's a free, like, we can do some free ones on Patreon,
Okay.
right?
That works.
Get some people to the Patreon page. Get some new,
okay.
get
Good
some new
point.
blood on the
Yeah.
Patreon page.
You about those numbers too? Yeah.
I'm about those numbers too, but they have an S with a strike through it.
Oh man. Time Trax.
Time Trax. Dale Midkiff. Elvis.
We also got a package.
We did. We got a package that came in from Kira and Bunny. Thank you guys for sending this Death Wish coffee, which I have never had before. It is touted to be the world's strongest coffee.
I used to get that. That was what I would regularly buy.
And it's expensive.
Then
Is that what stopped
it's
it?
like, what's my memory of it? Like $15 a bag. Like it was fairly expensive.
What size bag? Like the bag I'm holding, this 1 pounder?
Probably more like the other size of the other bag.
Yeah, that's about what I pay at etc. our local
Yep.
coffee shop.
Yep.
I mean, it's a little bit. I pay a little bit less than that for Organic Love Buzz, which I really like. And this Death Wish kind of has that like deep. I hate to say earthy, but it's earthy. It really hints of oak and sandalwood.
An oaky afterbirth.
I have a gun. Yeah, this is awesome. I like a dark roast though, so this is perfect. They sent the original flavor, Death Wish coffee, and they also sent Valhalla Java Odin Force blend. So, and it's got nice like a metallic illustration.
Before you
of
drink
Odin.
it, you have to go, witness me.
Yeah, you actually have to spray it in your mouth in aerosol form. That's the only way it works. So Kira, Bunny, thank you so much for sending this. You are awesome people. They used to hang out with me a lot on Twitch when I was doing the 5 days a week thing.
Yeah.
And I was more accessible, you know. Switching to Sundays is rough on a lot of people. I think even Sandwich Hope Phil has been like, this is hard. Then it's like, I get it. I also go to work the next morning. But it's the only day that I can that I felt like comfortable to commit to. All of this is to say that they're awesome people, and it's great that they sent this in and that this was the package in the queue because I am really tired and I really need this coffee. Tyler, that you very
It's very
kindly
good coffee.
brewed for me.
Very good coffee.
In your fancy Kim X
From Dimension X.
It looked like you were like,
Monica has one in her apartment in Friends.
well, of course she would. It makes sense. She's like a cooking person, and you're a cooking person, so it makes total
makes sense.
But to me, a layman, it looks like you're creating the Powerpuff Girls because it's like this alchemical flask, and it's like.
Yeah, because I don't have a drip coffee machine any longer because I'm a mild coffee snob.
But see, the coffee machines kind of suck because like they start to get nasty, and it's like I hear you can clean them out with like white vinegar, but like who's got time for that? Just drink the nasty coffee instead.
Yeah, because the Chemex, I just like as soon as I'm done using it, just run water through it, pour it out. All right, there we go.
That does seem.
I've
pretty
got that
nice.
metal filter. It's like, all right, well, dump that in the trash can, run water through it. All right, there we go.
This is nice coffee, and it is doing the trick. I absolutely needed it. It's like they knew.
I hope it doesn't too much do the trick.
What do you mean too much do the trick? Kill me?
And you don't go to bed till like 4.
That might happen. I mean, let's be real. That might happen. But look, if I go to bed at 4, I went to bed at 2 last night for the show, essentially, because it's like, well, I watched Time Cop. I guess I should try to watch Time Trax after this stream. And so I'm watching it, and it's like, man, this sucks. This is like worse than the game, which I feel like is a statement that does not get made a lot. Usually a game is worse than its source material.
Right. You're right.
Not in this case.
Even Superman 64.
I've never played it. We still need to do it for the show. We talked about it a
right.
long time
Yep.
ago, and then we pussed out.
Yeah. Yep. Straight pussed N64 out.
Look, by the time we got to the end of the N64 list, it was like, I'm done. I give.
Let's put this in a high shelf somewhere and forget about it for a while.
Right, exactly. And we still there are other N64 games we talked about.
The back of my garage looks like
an N64 graveyard.
I was going to say the storage facility where the Ark of the Covenant is. And
did you know we have a full collection of N64 games? We have all the games. We just hate them.
They're all back there. Fuck them.
We just hate them.
Fuck every one of them except Paper Mario.
And Star Fox 64.
You're right. And Mario 64.
There are some good games. There are some games that we played on there that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
None of the Zelda games. Sorry. I know there's
I don't like Majora's Mask, but I do like Ocarina of Time.
Well, I don't know. It's tough for me because it's like I'd rather play a good 2D Zelda than a early 3D Zelda.
No, I do. I love
It's just
a
the
lot
early
of 2D Zelda.
It's just the early 3D that.
Because Ian, let me borrow the remake of Link's Awakening. It's so fucking good. I miss those Zeldas.
I've heard it's great.
Yeah.
I just couldn't bear to like spend $60 on a. I love Link's Awakening, but it's like this is gonna sound like pretentious retro gamer bullshit, but it is the absolute truth. I would rather just play the original game and maybe watch someone play the remake than pay $60 for the privilege.
I like the DX version on Game Boy Color more than I like the Switch version.
Yeah, no, the DX version's great. That's what I played when we did our episode on Link's Awakening. I really liked that. It's got that extra dungeon in there, the color dungeon, and like all that. I like that. But man, it's tough for me when it's like, especially when I'm trying to collect Super Nintendo games, and it's like, this is my gaming budget. That includes collecting and new shit that comes out. And it's like, well, I guess I could do without Link's Awakening. I played that one. Right? Yeah, I played that one.
Mega Laser did a really good remix of Tall Tall Heights from Link's Awakening.
Fuck yeah, they did. Was that by request of Sweetheart Nicole?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that cover was great,
It
too.
really was.
You been up to anything this week?
Work.
Yeah. How's that going?
Pretty good.
All right.
Other than that, I'm trying to think anything else really happened.
Do you guys ever serve any form of steak?
Yes.
Yeah?
The only people who really get steak are what we do for
The people who are dying the next day.
Yeah.
Like they write an order and they're like, okay, this person's gonna die.
almost, but in reverse.
Oh, babies? You give it to babies?
Mothers who've just recently had babies, before they have their baby or before they go home, they try to do one like a little like date thing for the mother and the father.
That's
so
awesome.
We have a menu where they can order steak, fried shrimp, salmon, all sorts of stuff, and then we take a round table, white tablecloth, and they can have one last nice dinner together before they have to go home and do baby life from now on.
Yeah, before hell.
Yep.
Sorry, Henry, I love you, but let's be honest. Things are different now than they used to be. Weirdly, sex has had an uptick, so I guess thanks, son.
Thanks for getting my dick wet, son.
I do appreciate that, Henry. Like, I love you so, man. I love you so much, but it's like, that's the best gift. I remember hearing after Henry was born, I remember hearing about this, like, I guess it's like this complex or something, or I don't know exactly what to call it. I'm not a psychologist, but it's like where after a woman has a baby, sometimes the husband is like, oh, I can't have sex with that woman. She's my child's mother. She's a mother. I can't have sex with a mother. And it's like, I did not have that problem at all. I was like, everything's, what's the status? You healing up? Doing good?
You mean check that for you? Got my dipstick here. We can just see how everything's going. You just let me know.
Exactly.
Scream one octave higher than usual.
But also, Henry, stop listening. If you are in the future, Time Trax, time travel.
If I'm dead and you're listening to this to have a better idea of who I was as a person.
Right. This is it. This is what you got. I know I'm different at home, aren't I?
This is how Dirty Daddy really is.
This is Dirty Daddy's
This is how
life.
Dirty Daddy do.
It's true. It's true. But like when Nikki had her hysterectomy, I mean, this was the best part of it. We had to, let me rewind that. This was not the best part of it. This was the worst part of it. Worrying that she was going to die.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and get that out of the way. That was the worst part of it. But then as soon as it was like, she's not dead, it was like, how long do we have to wait until we can fuck? And this was the best part. She was also thinking that. I remember us agonizingly, like, it was like, what do you call it?
I think it'll be okay. Are you sure?
Yeah. It was that. But it was her saying, I think it's going to be okay. And I was like, I don't know, man. The doctor said 3 weeks. And she was like, it was 3 weeks from the procedure. And I was like, no, it was 3 weeks from the checkup. And she's like, no. So we argued. And I was like, do I have to call the doctor? And she's like, no, I'll just look it up. And she looked it up on like WebMD. And I was like, it was like 3 weeks from the procedure. It's like, good enough for me. All right, let's do it. I think it's awesome that you guys make a date night dinner. Mm-hmm. We should have had Henry at the hospital.
At my hospital.
At Tyler's hospital.
Yep.
I should have, but I did not.
Well, like, it is just a regular maternity ward. It is not high risk or NICU or anything like that.
Yeah.
So anybody, because we wanted Melissa to have the boys there too, but it was, pretty much a no-go, especially because she wanted to have her tubes tied. Like, while I'm all open down there, tie my tubes.
Yeah,
and the hospital was like, nope, we're a religious one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's...
Your husband have a vasectomy here, but we're not going to... I was like, okay, well...
Man, I am delighted that I won't have to get a vasectomy. Like, that is like... I mean, I hear it's not a big deal, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, well, all right, don't have to do that. Nikki had the hysterectomy. She had to have it done.
The conversation where I'm talking to, like, you and John and Ian about vasectomy, just like...
Oh, yeah, man. It was, lots of groans. Because, like, I don't want my balls to turn black.
Well, as long as you just lay there, I'm sure you'll be fine. Just don't be stupid like me.
Well, you know that I would be stupid like
Casey
you.
was totally fine. Like, he just, like, chilled out all weekend, sitting on cold stuff, and he was totally fine.
Sitting on cold stuff. It's Casey from Call of Cthulhu, Piggy Palace fame on patreon.com/TADPOG.
Trying to convince him to come to TADPOG prom this year.
Fucking please. Let me know if I need to get involved. Okay. I know he really respects me and holds me in high regard.
He does really, really like you.
Let me know if I need to get involved. Tell him I'll bring things that he might like. To make sure he knows that things that he likes will be there. In good supply, I'm sure. Speaking of which...
If he is a very large man, there'll be plenty of good things to eat that you really like.
It'll be great. You'll have a great time. I promise. What about Salisbury steak? What are your thoughts on Salisbury steak? It's like the bottom. It's like
it's one of my brother's favorite things.
Really?
I'm okay with it. I'm never going to ask for it, but if it's served, like, okay, good enough.
I'm the same. Right. I'm the same way.
I'm similar with beef stroganoff.
I like beef stroganoff. I haven't had it in a long time, but I like it.
Yeah,
you put it in the same category.
Yeah.
But as far as like steak goes, it's kind of like bottom tier.
Yeah.
Food. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
If
you can find it in the nuclear apocalypse of Fallout, it's a bottom tier food.
Yeah. And it might survive. I don't know what's in that gravy. You probably do, but I don't. Have you ever been to, there's a restaurant in Paducah called Mr. Ed's. Big Ed's, sorry. Not Mr. Ed's. That's a horse.
Was Mr. Ed's was the restaurant in Murray, right off campus.
Yeah. Have you seen this horse cook? The food is horrible, but somehow he cooks.
The hamburgers are okay and they're cheap. Why are they so cheap, Mr. Ed?
I would go there. If there was a restaurant where a horse cooked, but the food was awful, I'd still go. Like, you get to watch the horse cook.
Can you watch it? Yeah. If he's out in front, like he's in the back, you can't see him. Bring the horse out.
It's like hibachi.
Put a diaper on and bring that horse out.
I went to Big Ed's with Chris Black of Karnov fame.
Because it has a dine-in place now, right? Because it was just a takeout spot.
It's in this. It's a huge restaurant. It's essentially, all the listeners are going to love this. Do you remember where Pork Peddler was?
Yeah, my mom was telling me about it. Okay.
It's in the Pork Peddler building, which is really close to my work. So Chris was raving about it, and he was like...
It is very... I've had takeout from the old location several times. It is very good.
Okay, it is good, but I want to preface this with, like, I am not a home country cooking kind of guy. Like, it's not a favorite genre
it's
of
soul
food.
It's soul food.
Yeah, and it's like... there are things that I like about it, and there are also things that I don't like about it. So I went in. Chris was like, "This is really good. I've had it. Let's go." It is $15 a seat, and I was like, "For lunch?" And he's like, "Yeah, but it's really good." It's like, fuck, okay, I guess.
Firehouse subs, Chris Black.
I have a confession to make. We did go to Firehouse today, but it's the first time we have gone in 2020.
What about your Taco Tuesday? No, it is. Okay, you did go. All right, never mind. I'm about to say, I thought it was Tuesday for a second.
Well, I did Taco Tuesday with my mom when she was watching Henry, but now like Henry's in school, and it's like I come home to a sad, empty house on Tuesdays for lunch. That's usually what I do TADPOG
But now
work.
you eat the taco you would have had for your mom, and you're happier.
No, because now I'm like, well, if I'm only buying tacos for me, I'll just eat something from the fridge at home and like do show art for the show or something, you know? So, but anyway, Chris and I go to this restaurant. We go to Big Ed's, and we sit down, or we actually don't even sit down because we're fucking hungry. It's like it's a buffet. It's buffet style.
Oh.
So that's why it's $15, I guess.
Makes a little more
because
sense.
it's like you can go back as many times as you want. But I mean, come on, let's be real. I mean, a normal person is probably only going to go
6 times.
at least 6 times.
As the girthier boy on this show.
But no, here's my argument. It's not like a Chinese buffet where it's like, dude, I will get up and go to that buffet multiple times because it's, I don't know, man. It's like, it's not real heavy food, you know? But like soul food, country, it's heavy, you know? So we get to the buffet, right? And they got like the beans and the carrots and stuff like that, and that's all good. They've got this like cheesy casserole, that was really good. That's my favorite thing about it. And then we get to like the meats, right? Show me the meats. And they have an empty tub of fried chicken. And it's like, fuck. All right, well, what else do they have? And we look, and it's like, well, they have catfish. And I'm not, I don't like fish. Here's essentially why I don't like food like this, because it's like, I don't feel like I'm super picky, but when it comes to that stuff, I am, because it's like, oh, it's all just the food that I don't like. Shit. So they have.
I usually don't pick it because that's the food I grew up on.
Sure. And it's like, I grew up on that too, like around my grandparents, and that's why I don't know. I was always forced to eat that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that food
Like
equals...
how you can't get Jacob into a Cracker Barrel now because he was made to go so much when he was young.
Yeah, it's exactly like that, because it's like, I don't want to eat that food because like I had to eat that food growing up. It was almost like it wasn't a punishment, but it almost was. It might as well have been a punishment. So they've got the catfish is out because it's like, well, fuck, I don't really want catfish. There is this Salisbury steak. So there's my third option, and it's like, okay, it's like I mean, Salisbury steak, okay, that's good. That's like a staple cafeteria kind of like food. Like, let's get some of that. So I get that. Chris gets some of that. We finish up at the buffet and then head to the table, sit down. Chris cuts into this Salisbury steak, takes a bite, chews it up. We're talking, and then all of a sudden he goes white as a sheet and just spits the food out onto the plate, like spits it like I was embarrassed because it's like, and like it wasn't, it was like that. He made a noise.
He reverse Yoshi'd it. Just
Yeah, it's like he's spitting a key out into the keyhole, like wow. I mean, it is like on his plate, and he is like, "That's rotten." And I'm like, there is no way that is rotten. There's no way. They wouldn't serve rotten meat. So I cut mine up. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take a bite. I put it in my mouth and chew it up, and it's like, I don't think this is rotten, but it is. There's something wrong with it.
Yeah.
There's too much of something in it that is horrible. And Chris is like, I'm not eating any of this. Like, I'm not eating anything that this has touched, like the macaroni, the potatoes, anything it's touched, I'm not eating. And I'm going to say something to the waitress. And it's like, all right, whatever you got to do, right? So eventually the waitress comes around and to like refill our drinks, and he is like, hey, I got to tell you something about this. And he points to it, and she says, it's liver and onions.
Okay.
I see. And I immediately see, like, both of us are just relieved. Because I was getting worried because I swallowed mine, and I was like, maybe it is rotten. Maybe I am gonna die. And then she was like, no.
A case of the Doug Funnies when it came to liver and onions.
A serious case of the Doug Funnies. So That was nasty. And she said we weren't the first people to have been confused about it.
Because liver's not an easy thing to eat.
No, it was, I mean, I'll say this. I was proud of myself because it's like, you know what? In a life or death situation, I could have eaten that.
If it was eat it or starve to death, I probably would have lived.
I think I could have eaten that. Yeah. But considering I'm paying $15, I'm not going to eat this. And then eventually the fried chicken got filled back up. And then I got a piece before it was completely emptied out again. And it's like, I felt like saying when we left, like, you need a bigger thing of fried chicken.
Can you get like 2 of these instead of just one? Take away the liver and onions and put fried chicken in its place.
Yeah. Like, if you're getting people who are like...
I'm sure liver is just fucking dirt cheap to get and put on a buffet.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. That dude is making bank. Because at $15 a seat, that place was packed, dude. And that's a big building, too. Like, we were doing the math, right? On, like, how much money was in that room, you know? And it was a lot. For liver and onions, especially.
So remember, Melissa hates it, but she had to make it because she used to take care of an old rich lady, and she very frequently wanted like pan fried liver that Melissa would have to make for her.
See, this was definitely not fried. I've never had fried liver. I hear that like when you overcook liver, it becomes like sandy almost.
I can see that.
This was not sandy. It was just the worst Salisbury steak I've ever had in my life.
Just because you said that, I remember like one of the bigger disappointments in ordering that I ever had in my life was I had very recently watched that episode of Doug about liver and onions.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking a lot about liver and onions.
Thinking a lot about Doug. My buddy Doug.
My buddy Doug, funny.
And pork chop.
And my parents, like, they wanted to go to Lambert's. So we went, drove like the hour plus to Lambert's.
What's Lambert's?
Lambert's is like the closest one is in Sykeston, Missouri. There are like 4 Lambert's. And they're very big.
One at each corner of the earth.
Yeah. Home of the throwed rolls.
Yeah.
So they go through, they have a giant country style menu. People are constantly walking around just with tubs of fixins that are just unlimited. Like they'll come by fried okra, here you go.
All the fucking fixins.
Macaroni and tomatoes, here you go. Like all sorts of stuff. Giant drinks, throwing giant, very, very delicious rolls with molasses and butter. And
it's really good.
It's a big event restaurant.
Sure.
I remember going because I love Lambert's. It's very good. And because I just watched that episode of Doug, looked at their menu, I was like, I'm going to get liver and onions. And I remember like ordering my parents, what do you want, Tyler? Liver and onions. And they both just the slow turn like, are you really sure? Yeah, liver and onions. I put on my most actory face of like, yeah, no, I didn't make a mistake at all getting this.
Oh, when you were eating it?
Wasting this rare trip to Lambert's. We drove over an hour for to eat this.
Were your parents the kind of parents where it's like if you didn't like it, you would have to eat it anyway? Or like how would that have gone if you hadn't acted?
I mean, I would have gotten chewed out. I definitely wouldn't have gotten something else. I've been like, well, I hope you like rolls and okra that's coming around.
Yeah, okay. We're on the same wavelength. That's probably how it would have gone for me too. But here's what I would have. I know my parents, they would have been upset with me, but on the way back, I would have been like, can I get McDonald's? And then my dad would say nothing, and my mom would be like, come on. He hated that. He hated the thing that he had.
I might have gotten props for trying it. Maybe afterward I would have gotten. My mom would have done something. My dad just would have been shrugged.
Yeah.
You can pick an old fry out of the floorboard.
When Chris and I go out to eat lunch, we call it getting stretched. Is that weird?
I like it. I like it.
We have a chant called get stretched tug. And we just throw tug at the end of there.
Suck him dry. Suck him dry.
We both love to masturbate.
Well, you talk about that Time Trax?
You want to talk about Time Trax?
Talk about that Time Trax.
I got to be real with you. I don't think that we have a lot to say about Time Trax.
Can I be real with you? I totally agree.
I think that we could vamp for like 40 more minutes. No one would give a shit. We could call this a day. Go home.
Enjoy it.
Come.
Cross it out. You're right.
Tug one out and see you next week. Time Trax. Do you hear that, Tyler?
Time Trax. I do. It sounds like a large floppy book.
Oh, look at that. A time portal's opened up.
I did very much enjoy the meme of the two buttons Dave reads from Flopsy, Dave reads from Wikipedia that Phil Hawkins posted.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned Phil because Phil donated $150 to a liquor fund for Tadpog prom.
Did you hear that, Casey?
So, yeah, there you go. There's a little bit of extra fiexcents, but don't worry, I got more other stuff for you. Maybe. Other liquor and stuff. So thank you, Phil. And also on that same wavelength, Master Cycle Baron Link needs to know if you're planning on going to Tadpog prom, he wants to know if you're interested in doing kart racing and or axe throwing on Friday night. So if you are, let him know on Tadpog Nation under the events tab. You'll see a post. The events tab is weird, and it's
not easy to find. It makes sense that that's where
fault.
It would be, but
Yes.
Facebook did not make it easy.
It's Facebook's fault. It's not Link's fault for sure, but that's where it is. You got to look for it a little bit.
Tadpog, it's under events. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just not easy to find.
It's not easy to find, exactly, because it's rarely used. We don't have a lot of events.
Yep.
You guys want
pretty much this?
Yeah. You guys want to come to Big Ads with me next Friday? I'll set an event.
We'll put on every Monday for the rest of the year.
I do. Oh, look, it is Flopsy. It is. Oh, let's pull Flopsy out of that time portal. All right, Flopsy. What do you got here? Time Trax. Genre, action platformer. Release date, April 1994. I guess hitting on the second season of Time Trax. They got one season under their belt, and they're like, okay, this will probably last forever. Let's do a Super Nintendo game. Region, North America, and our friends in the PAL territories, our pals. Developed by Malibu Interactive. Published by Malibu Games. Number of players is 1. Special features, none. And availability is a secret. Oh, yeah. I don't want it to influence a later question. According to Flopsy, a.k.a. The Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Masterbold Mike Lanham. Time Trax is an action platformer which stars Fugitive, Retrieval, Captain, Darian Lambert. Darian Lambert.
Well, the original, or the owner of the future Lamberts.
From Step by Step?
From the restaurant of Thrilled Rolls.
They were the Lamberts. Patrick Duffy was a Lambert, right?
I think you're right.
I think they were, because Cody Lambert. I think I remember that vaguely. Do you think the Lambert family started Lamberts in Sikeston, Missouri?
I hope so.
Do you think Darian Lambert had something to do with that?
I think he will in 2192.
Man, it's weird. A lot of Lambert's restaurants here in the future.
Master of the Thrilled Roll projection tube.
Yeah, the weapons in the future are really super lame. They're really lame, and they have... It sounds like something you would buy on Wish, or like Wish would want you to buy, where it's like, hey, we keep tabs on what you browse, and we think you might be interested in this pellet projection tube. Is this your speed? It is absolutely not body safe.
It's the off-brand ovipacitor.
Right? Shit, I don't even want an on-brand ovipacitor. But yeah, totally. Hey, man, you want some pellets
the
up inside?
off-brand that does lead chunks just into your vagina.
Hey, dog, do you want coronavirus like right up into your uterus? We can do that. We can do that with a pellet projection tube. That joke's going to be great in 5 years where it's like,
when we're all dead.
Shit, the coronavirus killed us all. He's joking about it.
It turned into an STD. He was a prophet.
You know what? I wouldn't mind to be remembered like that.
Dave Moore, STD prophet.
Yeah, because it's either that or nothing.
The neuromancers will find this podcast one day.
Just a
We don't know. We'll see.
It's a There's a statue of me in the future holding scales, and on one side of the scales, an ovipacitor. On the other side is a pellet projection tube. So I want to talk about Darian Lambert for a minute.
Darian Lambert.
Because there is an absolutely very long intro all about Darian Lambert in the beginning of this game.
Yeah.
It is probably longer than the intro to Final Fantasy V. It is definitely longer than the intro to Final Fantasy
It's longer
II.
than it's longer than the ending to Final Fantasy VI.
I mean, that's not true, but it is a good joke. It's absolutely longer than the intro to Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past.
Yep.
Like by a large margin. And you just go through this.
Large Marge sent me.
Large Marge scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like real bad. It's weird going back and watching it now because it's like, I was a pussy ass kid. Because like that is fake as shit, clearly.
Have you seen where Paul Rubens wants to make a dark Pee-wee like reboot?
I have not.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a wise move for him?
Yeah, sure.
I think it probably is too. Because all his fans are like grown up now.
Yeah.
And it's like me. I remember when my parents told me that he
just got caught jerking off in an adult theater. That's all. There are dick pics of everybody everywhere.
Right, it's not a big deal anymore, right? Like I feel like it's not that big of a deal. I mean,
it shouldn't be. That guy from Waiting for Guffman got arrested for the same thing like 5 years ago.
And Louis C.K.'s kind of bouncing back.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that. I do think that,
and he did do it very inappropriately. At least Paul Rubens here's a place that was built for it.
I've never been to one of those. I've been to one of those, but I've never used the facilities.
I don't think I've ever seen one. Well,
because I don't know what the setup is. Like when I was a kid and I heard what Paul Rubens did, I just imagined he was like in a Cinemark style movie theater watching a pornographic film on screen.
Like a giant 200 seats.
Yeah, right.
Had popcorn and milk duds. And
Well, it's a movie. Of course you're going to have popcorn. How else are you going to do the popcorn trick?
That's true. To yourself.
I love to think of Pee Wee Herman.
I hope I'm hungry enough to get to the bottom of this popcorn bag so I can jerk off.
He gets tired halfway through.
Like, man, I got popcorn belly. I'm going home.
Oh, shit.
Too much salt and butter. It's in my beehole. I'm done.
Are they ever going to free Willy? I don't care. I'm out.
Just a dick raw from hot butter and salt.
All right. I mean, I'm in for the hot butter. But I don't want salt going up in that hole.
Shampoo was bad
hole.
enough.
Yeah. Darian Lambert.
Darian Lambert.
He chose that name for himself. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It explains that.
As is tradition of children who are orphans.
Was it just children? Because they're very unclear about that. Because they do say that he was an orphan, but they also say that he chose his name as is customary. And it's like, as is customary what? Like in this time period?
In the future? Or
2190? Or
I bet it's for orphans. You get to choose your own because you have no parents to name you.
When do they ask you?
Yeah, you got to be old enough. You got to be like, you're just orphan, and then whatever number you are in the orphanage.
Until like age what? 4?
Yeah.
And then they're like, what? Hey, 4-year-old, 6894, come over here. What do you want to be called? Okay, Darian Lambert. Okay, got it.
Another one? Fine.
Got it. Okay. But
that's the 16th Darian Lambert today.
What was the name of the other one that you found like on Wikipedia or whatever? Like Ryder Strong or something?
Well, Ryder Strong is an actor.
Right, I know. But it was like...
But that does sound like a name a kid would pick for himself.
It does. What name would you pick for yourself?
Because I am not a fan of my name.
I know
Despite the fact I gave it to my son as his middle name.
But there's something about that. Henry's has my first name as his middle name. That's nice. I remember my dad saying...
That's some good Tadpog trivia.
Yeah. Wow, we have a connection there.
Yeah.
Wow, weird that we would have a connection. Odd. I remember my dad telling me, because I'm the third, I'm David Moore the third. I remember my dad telling me, do not name your son David. And I could get it. I understood it. Because it's like, first of all, it's a weird identity thing. Because it's like, I remember going through my whole childhood as little David. And I hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it. Because it's just like, I'm a person too. But it's like, I also get it because like my dad had a really bad relationship with his dad. And it's kind of one of those where it's like, let's just not do this anymore.
All right, son, I had a bad experience with my dad, so I'm going to give you my name, and hopefully we'll get about halfway better.
Well, I
That's
think
the goal here.
I've never talked to him about this. Maybe I should. I shouldn't operate on this assumption, but I kind of assume that he regrets like naming me David.
I mean, if he told you not to name your son David,
Right.
I would assume yes, he regrets it very
Probably a good
much.
sign, right?
Yeah.
Probably a good sign.
I'm very body conscious, and everybody called me Big David. I hated it. Don't do it to your son.
They
It
actually
destroyed my self-image.
it was actually very formal. They'd call him David Moore because there's so many goddamn Davids in our family. There's me
And cousin David.
who was also named after his dad, Uncle David. So whenever we'd get together, it'd be like, David, and like four of us would
Turn off hee-haw. We got to name another baby. I don't know. Fine. I want to watch David. Fine. Just do it again. Turn the TV on.
Is that steak ready? Our bougie hospital.
You know I only have babies named David, so I come here and get this steak.
Get the lobster tail. What I know. Okay, so you don't like the name. You don't like your name.
I don't.
What would you pick instead?
It definitely would change in every different times in my life.
Please tell me the most embarrassing one.
Hunter, maybe?
Hunter's not a bad name.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were to pick a person who is least likely to be a hunter, it's gonna be me.
I mean, it's pretty good because like if you would say like
as opposed to our friend McElwain, whose middle name is Hunter, and it makes sense for that
right,
dude
because he is a hunter.
He owns
right.
like a big deer hunting range where Hank Williams Jr. comes.
Right.
Yes, Hunter.
Yay.
Perfect.
Hank, please stop. We can't keep cleaning this up. Please stop coming here. I think Hunter's perfectly acceptable because you ask me, like if you would have asked me when I was 16 years old, hey, what do you want to be named? Cloud?
Shadow?
Cloud Sith Man.
What if you were a girl? Kate Sith.
Kate Cloud. That sounds like a weird show. So?
So I remember being asked that like when I was little. I think I said Hunter because I think at one point I might have even said Brandon because there were so many Brandons around. Brandon, Josh, and Matt were like the names around my school. Like
Josh
constantly.
is for sure. Matt's for sure. I didn't run into a whole lot of Brandons, honestly, until I moved back to this area. And then it's like, shit, there are a lot of Brandons.
That was
here.
ground zero for Brandons.
I think it might have been. What about in 2190? What do you think? Do you have something for that? What do you think? I got mine.
What's yours?
Tug Masterson.
Doug. It's pretty good.
Tug Masterson. I feel like that like if
Choco Mog Holland.
I love it. See, I think that works, man. I like it.
Choco Mog.
Choco Mog.
These are my kids. Koo Mama, Koo Papa.
Koopek. All right. Well, that's our Time Trax episode.
That's a very good question, though. Like, now, if I could rename myself now, what would it be? I like the name Thatcher.
Thatcher?
Thatcher.
Garfield Thatcher.
Perfect.
Garfield Thatcher.
Garfield Thatcher Holland.
Not Darian. Is Darian a real name?
I mean, I've heard Darius.
I've heard Darius for sure. I've heard of a Dorian.
Dorian. But Darian?
Was that what D stands for in JD on Scrubs?
John Dorian, yep.
John. Oh, I thought it was Darian. John
Darian.
Time traveler. Wouldn't it be great if they spun Scrubs off into a time travel show where JD, it turns out he was a time traveler?
He has to go back to 2192.
No, he has to go back to when Scrubs first came out. It's just a show where they perfectly recreate the early 2000s. But he's a time traveler.
But this time he has to dress up and be the janitor.
Oh, I like that a lot. It's Scrubs. It's
what rewatch Scrubs again, change nothing, but just think of the janitor is actually JD coming back from the future to guide young JD.
That's our pitch.
In like a very passive.
Yeah.
So just re-release, upgrade it to HD. And that's it.
Scene for scene. Yeah. I would like to superimpose Zach Braff's head on janitor in the style of Saddam Hussein in South Park, though.
Hey, JD.
Canadian Zach Braff, essentially.
I still love that.
I know Saddam Hussein's not Canadian, but they got the floppy heads on South Park.
I love that in the first season of Scrubs, the janitor was supposed to be a figment of JD's imagination.
I heard that. Is that truth?
That's what I read on the IMDb.
All right, then it's got to be fucking true.
It's got to be. They don't put lies on there.
No, never.
Okay, but Time Trax.
Time Trax.
So yeah, it gives you the whole spiel. Gives Darian's backstory of how he has an average IQ of 204.
That's normal.
An average heartbeat rate of 35 beats per minute. He ran the mile in 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Right.
Just slightly above average.
Slightly above average. No big deal.
Yeah. He didn't hold his breath for the typical 6 minutes.
6 minutes. What a weird way to intro a show. Like,
it's like, all right, get a bunch of 5 to 6 year olds. What can somebody do to impress you?
I can hold my breath for 6 minutes underwater.
All right, that's it. Pretty good. All right.
Well done, Tug Masterson. Prove it, orphan. Dunk. You must earn your name.
So how he went to military academy for his job assignment, graduated top in his class after mastering Oriental style fighting.
Yeah.
And which you can just say karate. It's fine. It's fine.
It's the 90s. We have to say Oriental. We have to make future podcasters uncomfortable streaming this game.
So yeah, in the 90s and in the 2000s they dropped it, saying like, "Oh, we don't use that word anymore."
Right.
But in 2192 we bring it back.
I gotta say, I did watch an episode of Time Trax, and I saw just a bunch of white people. So there is that.
And that he graduated top of his class, and he admired he was from a land once known as Chicagoland.
Right.
And he admired the fugitive retrieval people, or the originals known as the U.S. Marshals. That's what he wants to be.
Right.
So he gets his preferred job assignment.
In the, quote, United States of America, unquote. So I'm assuming that they just call it that now? Did they just say, welcome to, air quotes, United States of America? Or is it called something different?
That's what it says on our money. We just don't want to reprint it.
It's very expensive. We're sure you understand.
Paper's very rare now.
We're still recovering from the coronavirus.
We're in Mega Man land where all the trees are also made out of metal.
Man, I'm going to get some Mega Man in a minute, and no one's going to like it.
Yeah. Yep. I had the same thought.
All right.
Actually,
Okay. All right.
So he realizes once he goes out, he's actually doing really, really bad because all the fugitives he's retrieving are disappearing, and his capture rate is really bad.
They're disappearing mysteriously.
Well, spoilers for Time Trax. It turns out they're disappearing to the past.
But they don't tell you that in the game.
No.
I was very confused.
That happens in the first episode of the show, but not immediately spelled out for you in the game.
In this incredibly long intro, they fail to mention that they discovered that, they're time traveling back. Okay.
Yep.
There's also a point, I know I'm jumping ahead here, but it's in the same vein. There's a point in the game where you go back from 2190 to 1993, and the game does not tell you that happened.
Yeah, that's fucking dumb. The point of the show is assuming, of course, you've seen this smash hit show. We don't even have to go over
Time
this.
Trax, yeah.
We don't have to tell you.
Pete Midkiff or what are Mudkips? The old Mudkips.
Muddy Mud Skipper fucking over here. He Mr. 38 beats a minute heart rate. It's fine.
Yeah, they don't tell you. And which it makes sense that you do, because later on in the game, like, I'm jumping ahead here, but you do fight a helicopter. And I remember thinking, they got helicopters still? Like, I saw in the beginning of this game, they had like hover cars flying through the sky, but they're still rocking the helicopter. And not once did it dawn on me, he's probably in the past.
We like to live dangerously. Most of our people have too many arms, so we still use helicopters just in case they grab a few.
Yeah. In this alternate reality, the Kobe Bryant thing just didn't happen.
So no one has any fear of getting in helicopters.
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, I'm so topical this episode. Look who turned on WKMS one time this week.
Well, we're talking about the future, so we have to make sure we ground ourselves.
Yeah,
lest we get lost in the imagination.
That's right.
2192.
Thanks for letting everybody know that I was doing that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought the show was bad.
Uh-huh. So did everyone else.
Yeah, I did not enjoy it. It got 2 seasons.
Surprisingly, yep.
One more season than Time Cop did, which I watched accidentally. But I enjoyed it much more than Time Trax. So that's my lock of the week. If you're gonna watch a shitty time travel cop story show from the early 90s, make it Time Cop.
Yeah, because the game. All right, so the game.
Yeah, it's better than the show.
It is better than the
Yeah,
show?
absolutely. I think it is. I think I'm going to go ahead and get out in front of this. I think that Time Trax for the Super Nintendo is a better than average game.
Really?
I do. I think it is a better than average game. It's not a hidden gem, but I don't think it's a bad game.
So like Darian Lambert himself, it is slightly above average.
Slightly above average. Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay. I mean, in my opinion, that the game has some flaws. But let me say this. I think that this game would have been a lot more enjoyable had I been able to find an instruction manual or if it had been on GameFAQs. Because neither of those things, I couldn't find any of those things. So what happened was there are power-ups in the game that...
Yeah, I had no idea what I was collecting, what I was doing, anything.
You kill an enemy... and it drops a coin with a T in it. I'm assuming it's a time coin. And then
it just cracks.
You just shatter it. It shatters as you walk over it. Is that like their way back? Or I don't understand. Like, I don't know what that is.
I have to get time fragments I suck out of people I murder.
He's a time vampire. I'd play the shit out of that.
There you go.
If it's like a Friday the 13th style, like survival horror, but you're the time vampire.
Oh, yeah. You're the villain that they're trying to stop. Magus. But you're just trying to survive. Yeah.
I'm down. How about this? A battle royale version of Chrono Trigger where one person is Magus and then 99 people are the Steel Runner.
Perfect.
Or Cadillac.
Fucking Steel Runner.
Green Ambler was always the wild card for me because like I'd always vote Cadillac. We're talking about Chrono Trigger, by the way, not Time Trax. That might not be obvious to everybody. I don't know.
Steel Runner, Cadillac, Green Ambler, G.I. Jogger. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I don't ever want to lose that information.
Yeah.
It's very important. Like, all the other shit I've known in my life, like, fuck it. No. I better know the name of the 4 races in the Millennial Fair.
Absolutely. Like, on my tombstone, I wanted to say, really liked Cadillac. That's if I don't correctly...
To have an etching of the fair with all of them running.
Right.
And you in last place.
Yeah, almost profit underneath it.
Or it's just Norstein Beckler laughing, but he has no clone to replace you with, so you're dead.
I'm glad you remember that name. That's a name I couldn't even remember when the game came out because it's so, like, unmemorizable for me.
Just such a weird floating face and hand that was also some sort of magic scientist.
Yeah.
In a tent.
Man, you know what I'd like to see? I know we got that great Scrubs idea, but I would love to see the bodiless doctor. Please tell me his name again.
Norstein Beckler.
God, because Beckler sounds like Becker, I want to see Ted Danson removed from Becker and replaced by this character.
I want Chrono Trigger, but through Ted Danson's eyes.
Ted Danson presents Chrono Trigger, a Becker story.
And Chrono Becker, where instead of Lusa, you're Dr. Becker.
And the man at the end of time is Danny DeVito. I know he wasn't in Becker, but I want him in the game.
Is a naked Danny DeVito Specchio.
I love it. Zach Braff is the man at the end of time. There we go. He comes all full circle.
Gaspar?
Yeah, he was Gaspar, I think. Spoilers to Chrono Trigger. Whoops. Melchior was my favorite because he's with you at the beginning. He's and he kind of looks like a cat.
And Belshazzar's the really crazy one.
Yeah. He's the one who looks like a new, right?
Yep, or becomes a new.
Oh, right. Yeah. All things begin and end with new.
Yeah, good game.
Way better than Time Trax.
Better than Time Trax.
That was relevant. Time travel.
There you go. That'll work.
What other time games have we played? Or have we talked about on this show?
I want to say not a ton.
Not a lot.
So this is number 2 for our time traveler games.
There's an ocarina.
Oh yeah, Majora's Mask.
Right. That's time travel stuff, kind of, yeah. And that's it.
That's it, yeah.
I'm sure there are others.
Terminator, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that counts. I'm glad you brought up Terminator because I feel like in the games that we've talked about recently on this show, the one that we can make a direct comparison to is probably Terminator. Mm-hmm. Because this game, Time Trax, plays a lot like a Contra-style game, much like Terminator tried to do. Terminator is truly an awful game.
Yes.
It is truly an awful game on the Super Nintendo. And maybe that's why I think Time Trax is okay. But Time Trax plays a lot like Contra if it was meshed with Mega Man and then lost the charm of both of those franchises.
Yeah.
Like it really because it's like
It was awkward and oversized and had foreground stuff that was too present.
wait, how do you mean? Oh, like foreground, like stuff in like a foreground layer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in that first level, it's just spider webs. It's like up close spider webs that are like, it's like imagine the game is being shot with a camera and they just put spider webs over the lens.
Yeah,
like, that's what it looks like.
I can see what they were wanting to achieve there, but it's just annoying. And the spiders can crawl on the web and jump from the foreground back at you.
Onto where you are, yeah. Which sucks. I mean, it's a cool effect, but it's not good for gameplay. It's not good for a run and gunner.
You have such a difficult time seeing the little pellets coming at you.
Yeah.
So the stuff
out of
from
the tube.
Yeah.
I hear that's a problem to see.
The enemy snipers and the stuff in the foreground makes it very hard to see all the little random shit coming at you.
Absolutely. And they throw these things that are in the foreground, they throw them at you in every level. It's like they're very, very proud that they figured this out because it's like you go to another level and it's like, oh, it's just pillars and columns that are constantly blocking your view. And then you go to another level at a construction site and it's like solid steel beams constantly blocking your view, obscuring things, making it harder. And it's super annoying because some of these things, all of these things enemies can shoot through. And it's like, the other part of this thing is like, a lot of this game is based around you finding hidden items. Like imagine you're playing Contra, but it is absolutely imperative that you find as many hidden items as possible. And these items aren't hidden like logically. A lot of times it's like an invisible block in Mario, which is fun in Mario because when you find one, it's like, oh, neat. This is not a requirement to finish the game. But like in Time Trax, it's like, oh, shit. I bet there are billions of these.
So not just in the far future, 2192, do you have hidden blocks, but also in 65 million BC in prehistoric man, you also have hidden things you have to find to progress through the game.
It's true. It's a constant.
Oh.
It's a constant.
All right. We'll do that Lost video game at some point in time.
Yeah, I want to collect all those coconuts for Sawyer.
Come on, sassafras. Why don't you go out to the jungle and get me 10 pineapples?
Speaking of time travel,
If you want this book.
everyone loved the time travel in Lost. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Remember that season?
Oh, yeah. They flash forwards, flashbacks,
Yeah.
flash sideways. Fuck yeah, bring it on. It's not purgatory, though. Not.
It's certainly not. The shooting in this game.
Who's Echo?
The shooting in this game is very reminiscent of Contra, except for the shooting. And it's very frustrating because the shooting is Mega Man shooting. It just is. You shoot left and right, and there you go.
You can crouch.
You can
Crouch and shoot. But yeah, you pretty much jump and shoot, man.
You are a jump and shoot, man.
But it's clunky and it's oversized and...
Well, see, I thought I loved the size of the sprites.
Yeah?
Yeah, man, because I feel like they're small. Like, compared to a lot of, like, ActRaiser, you know? Like, I mean...
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
I feel like as far as Super Nintendo games go, it's like...
Everything in Super Nintendo is usually pretty fucking big. Yeah.
But Darien is like normal size. His idle animation, he looks like if Papa John started a greaser gang in the future. Like that's what he looks like.
Oh,
like his idle animation is like heavy breathing. And everyone you're
the
fighting,
reckoning is coming in 2192 when I restart the Greaser Pizza Empire.
when I've eaten 50,000 pizzas.
You'll see I'm going to live off my hatred and pizza for hundreds of years.
I can't wait until we discover that Papa John is actually a Sith apprentice.
And the actual only living Jedi we have is Shaquille O'Neal.
I'd watch the shit out of that. I'd watch the shit out of Shaquille O'Neal have a lightsaber duel with Papa John. I like to think that Papa John's got like pizza-related dark force powers. Like, what's the worst topic?
Shaq has a force basketball. He has a lightsaber, he turns it on, it just forms a basketball.
We've essentially rewrote Shaq Fu right now. It added Papa John to it.
He was in it. He was just called the Beast. So that's a word we started using for a minute and forgot to use all the time.
Very beast.
So
you
beast.
Want to bring it back?
Yeah, beastly. I do,
Dude. I went down to Mr. Ed's, watched a horse cook, got stretched. It was very beast.
dog, beast.
That's a lost city of Atlantis story we probably never get to tell.
Yep. I was supposed to get an email about confirming that or not. I never did. So
Oh, man, that's a shocker.
I know, right?
Yeah, the shooting's like Mega Man. It very much reminded me of that when you're climbing ladders, because you're climbing ladders, shooting enemies.
You can shoot, you can jump up and grab on. That was nice. That it did have some quality of life things to it. Because I remember thinking like this could be a lot worse. I could be able to not shoot from a ladder, have to start climbing at the very bottom of a ladder. This could be a lot worse.
Absolutely. And I think that's why I feel like it's slightly better than average.
Yeah, all
because
right.
it's like, this does not bode well for a game we're going to talk about in the future, but it reminded me very much of Jurassic Park, The Chaos Continues for the Super Nintendo,
Okay.
which is a game that I had as a child. And I haven't revisited it. It's probably not a good game, but man, did I love playing that game as a kid. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit, where it's like, this is serviceable. But what killed me is like you cannot shoot diagonally up. And it's like there are so many enemies that are like
Yep.
placed diagonally up. And it's like there are turrets that can shoot diagonally. And it's like, fuck, the robots have mastered this. Meanwhile, Darien, not so much.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
That's the only thing I failed in school. Diagonal shooting.
I can hold my breath for 6 minutes, though.
My IQ's only 203. I can't do it.
I wish there would have been a segment in the game, like an underwater segment, where you have a timer of 6 minutes.
Man, that would have been pertinent and made it make sense. I would have been into that.
I don't think they mention it in the game, honestly, in the
Yeah.
intro. I think just in the show. There has to be a scene in the show where it is like that, where it's like, oh shit, Darian's got to hold his breath for 7 minutes. Can he do it?
That's above average for a normal person. Shit.
He took the future SAT and he scored, his IQ is actually 215.
He took the FP SAT.
I haven't really talked about this game a whole lot.
Well, I mean, you do the time travel. There's a lot of little annoying enemies, people that you stun and have to get up close to and kick to death.
Yeah, they kind of take that from Metal Slug, which
okay.
is, in that same vein as Contra, where it's like, that's one of my favorite things about Metal Slug is like, you can be shooting a guy, but if someone gets up close to you, you switch to like a bayonet and like just stab them through the heart or something,
Okay.
That's nice. This game doesn't do it super well because a lot of times it just devolves into like a slap fight.
Yeah.
Like in the first level, there's a security guard who is absolutely Carl from Family Matters. And it is like,
You're right.
it's like you just slap fight. Like he kicks you in the nuts while you're punching him in the face. And it's like Beavis and Butthead fighting, essentially. But I mean, yeah, I guess it's cool. And then you fight a giant assassin who looks like fucking Brock from Venture Brothers. Like he's a giant fucking man.
I think he looked like a giant waiter, the way he was just like large, like white. And did he have a bow tie on? I don't
know what the fuck he was wearing. Who knows what future assassins wear? I was thinking like,
is that Bane from Superman?
assassins are weird in the future. It's not about like subtly slipping in and poisoning wine. It's like, oh, that's just the biggest dude on the planet.
That's my version of playing every stealth game, just being the biggest dude crashing into shit. Nope, assassin.
You need to play Untitled Goose Game.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's essentially how you do it. You have two options, I think. There's a huge mechanic that we have not talked about yet.
Oh, the time.
Bullet time.
Bullet time.
You
What
remember
do
that?
they call it? Like time strafing or
Time stalling.
time stalling?
Which makes no sense because it's like time stalling. Darien has the ability to slow down the rate at which a brain receives visual information.
So that should make everything around you slow down, right?
I would think it would make it super fucking hard for Darien to like, why would you ever
To
activate
do anything,
that?
to not die.
Right, where it's like, shit, I need to focus right now. Let's slow everything down for me. Shit, I got shot 5 times. But in the game, it translates to bullet time.
Yep.
Everything around you slows down.
Yep.
Which, I hate to say this, but back to Mega Man, that's a thing they did in the most recent Mega Man. So obviously
yeah.
they were taken back from Time Trax. Capcom's like, gotcha, Malibu. You had us in 93. Time to pay the piper.
But you said, let's see, there's the gigantic assassin waiter boss and the helicopter boss.
There's a boss. The guy you're after, the fugitive you're after, is Mordecai's
Harrison
zombie.
Ford.
Yeah. I didn't kill my time wife. I don't time care. Zombie Mordecai is the guy you're after, and your first encounter with him is in a laboratory where you shoot female scientists that go when you hit them, and then when they die, they go ah. So it's like clear that Malibu was like, do we need to work up a sound effect of like a woman getting hit? Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just use a stock sound effect that happens whenever someone gets hit.
You know women can't feel pain, so why would they scream out? That's fine.
Look at all the babies
They're
make.
like lobsters.
In the future, they might be if we're not careful.
In the future, women entirely die out, and we have to make lobster girlfriends.
Lobster girls. Oh shit! The last woman just died. Fuck. Fortunately, I work in a Red Lobster. I know what I'll do.
Perfect. I've always said, what's the lobster missing but tits? Claws could easily be turned into tits.
What are we going to do with these cheese biscuits? Bullet time.
Bullet time. It recharges. That's nice.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, I had to use it a lot just to try to drop down and not get shot, because I'd go to drop down and an enemy would just shoot something and I would drop right into it. So it's like anytime I see an enemy, well, I got to hit bullet time just to get over there.
There's a lot of bullshit like that in this game. Like there are a lot of traps that you just can't see. Like in the construction site, there are like chunks of construction that just falls down on you. And it's like, it'll trigger off screen. So it's like you have no idea it's coming until it's like, oh shit, it's on me. And I get you're supposed to slow down time, but it's like, if you're not expecting it, it's like by the time you slow down time, you just see yourself get hit slowly. And there are a lot of like poor design decisions that were made, like in level design, like just stuff like that. And it's not as bad as like some games of the time, but it's still like super annoying where you have to take like leaps of faith. Enemies like in the laboratory level where they've made lobsters into women, there are these cannons that will fire off screen, and it's like, okay, I don't know, I can't do anything about this until I get there, and it's like, I don't know.
That's bullshit.
It's just annoying. It feels like padding. What it feels like is it's a very short game. Like I spent,
they didn't have a lot of episodes to work with,
right? They had more than they should have, I think.
Yeah, so this game, I mean, a bomb of a show. The game might have done better if the show had like picked up and been really popular, but
potentially,
no one having heard of it, it's going to kind of take the wind out of the sails of this game.
I blame Malibu, who developed this game. Although Malibu really, I think, hit their apex when they made
Rum.
They were like, shit, we made rum. Let's get into video games. How about what should we make? And then Steven Malibu was like, how about that Three Ninjas Kick Back? Yeah, let's do that. And then they did it because they were all drunk on their own rum.
Man, I feel like we're so drunk that like I woke up and it was tomorrow. Did we time travel? Time travel game. Perfect.
What properties could we work with? Time Cop? It's taken. Fuck. Zelda? They also did.
I mean, time's linear, right? Like
time's a flat circle,
train
man.
tracks.
They also did the Strike games, Jungle Strike, Desert Strike, which I think is honestly probably their best.
Yeah.
On this list that I'm reading, they did one other game that we've covered. No, I'm sorry, but we'll cover all of these. It's great. They did Bassmasters Classic Pro Edition, which I'm not going to lie, I'm excited to talk about a fishing game. I say that until we get 3 fishing games in a row.
Yep.
But the first
Randomizer's like, oh, I hear you, brother.
Right. The first one's going to be real fun. And they also did Batman Returns.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That is... Oh, man. I remember, I loved that movie as a kid. And then I heard there was a Super Nintendo game. I rented it, got home.
I've never played it. I've heard
Completely
it's
baffled
garbage.
about what the fuck this was.
So that seems to be Malibu's niche. They're like, all right, let's make games that are super confusing and call it a day. Sound good?
Yep. Because it was, man, I'm ready to get to it because it is the weirdest nonsensical game. I remember having to
Now you're tempting the randomizer.
that's true. I remember having to swing to cross into different scenes with the batarang, but you're only 2 feet off the ground, very slowly moving because I didn't know how else to get places. It's awful. It's awful, terrible game.
But Danny DeVito's
And I believe
in
it had lots of loading time too whenever
What?
you'd cross in.
Oh,
yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito's in it, though, right?
I mean, of course.
So there we go.
Well, not in Batman. I'm thinking of the wrong game. I'm thinking of Batman Forever.
Batman Returns is the second one, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Batman Forever, I totally see that being a worse game than Batman Returns.
Yeah.
We'll get there too. It'll be fine. I'm sure we'll cover all the Batman games, except for the one for the NES, which is arguably probably the best outside of maybe Batman.
We've already
and Robin.
done Batman the Animated Series.
The Adventures of Batman and Robin, where we tricked Second Breakfast Podcast into watching.
Weird. He's unfriended me.
All right, then it sounds like I made the right decision when I didn't say hi to him and introduce myself when I saw him at a wedding recently.
Yep.
I was this close, and then I was like,
It's been a long time.
it's okay. I was honestly worried that he was going to be mad about the Batman thing. That's why.
I know him well enough that he would have absolutely brought it up. Probably the first thing he would have said to you. So
yeah, I just let that one go and stuck with the people I knew.
So this game, yeah, all right.
Have I convinced you? Slightly better than average? What do you think?
Slightly better than average. It does have those quality of life things, and it didn't control very poorly, but level design.
That's where it really fails,
Yeah.
I think. The level design and the bosses. The
Yep.
boss design is horrible. It really feels like they made the game and then Steve Malibu was like, whoa, fucking wait a minute. Games have bosses, and you did not put bosses in this game. Put bosses in this game.
Wait a minute.
And then they're like, Mr. Malibu, we only have 3 days. I said put bosses in the game! And then they did it.
Should they have health bars? Fight me. See if you see my health bar. See Malibu punching an employee. What is my health bar going down? What? Punch.
And then
punch.
and then it did go down because the bosses do have health bars in this game.
Oh, I didn't think they did. All right.
They do. They look.
I didn't get to one. I just watched you fight them for a little while.
I wouldn't call you out if I didn't know that somebody out there would.
No, you're right. Somebody would. I did not get that far because I did not like this game, but I understand the points you were making about it.
So right now, you are the L train. I am Spider-Man with both webs out to the side. And then the audience.
Holding back a train that just says Paul Korn. Paul Korn, terrified Michelle. You're just holding them back.
So yes, there are health bars in this game.
Because I don't generally 3 days after an episode drops, I will get a 4-paragraph long message from Michelle telling me everything I was wrong about in the episode she just listened to.
Which I love terrified Michelle, and I do think that I'm surprised. After we closed the episode last week as terrified Michelle, I was driving home and I was like, man, I hope she doesn't take offense to that. You know what I mean?
And she sent me a message why'd you ask about what church I went to? I was like, 'cause I want to know what church would be like. Any church around here would fucking show you the door. I guarantee it. So I want to know what church you go to that'd be like, yeah, we are very welcoming.
Right.
Come on in.
Yeah.
You and your wife.
Yeah, our churches suck.
Yeah.
I mean, our churches suck. They suck.
Yep. Yep.
I was gonna. I know some really nice people of power in churches, and they're super nice, But it's yeah, I don't really go that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
We can talk and be cool, but I'm not coming. I'm not gonna go to your church. I'm not going.
Do we have anything else to say about it? Do you have any achievements?
I have a few achievements that came in from Twitch chat. If you would like to help with achievements, come join me on a Sunday night at TADPOG Church. That is twitch.tv/TADPOG_podcast. First achievement comes in from Edgelord Kyle. What's in your head? In your head, zombie. In order to unlock what's in your head, zombie, you need to sing this tune anytime Zombie's Secret Laboratory is mentioned.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
It was fun hanging out with Edgelord Kyle again because we used to hang out when I was playing NES games on Twitch. Like he was in there like writing lyrics for me to rap to. I mean, it was good shit. It was like, all right, this is perfect. Next achievement I got comes from Dig Duggy, who reminded me that Dig Duggy is his title, and I gave him that title and had completely forgotten.
All right.
So executive producer Dig Duggy, here's his achievement. Icon has cheeseburger. And in order to unlock Icon has cheeseburger, you find a hidden cheeseburger when you have 2 or less hit points left.
I mean, now it's salami. Cats want salami and not cheeseburgers, but...
Cats can have a little cheeseburger. That should be the meme. It's like Mayor McCheese on one side, Elizabeth Warren on the other. And the last achievement I have comes in from Ruben Patterson. Does that name ring a bell for you? Ruben Patterson.
Ruben Studdard was the guy from American Idol.
Yeah. A Reuben sandwich is just a Reuben sandwich.
And Reuben was the fire spell sword from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Reuben Kincaid was the tour manager in the Partridge Family.
Wow. Wow.
That's a weird Bardic knowledge.
Were you a big Partridge Family guy?
I was okay. I liked Partridge Family all right.
Here's my thing.
Watch it on Nick at Night.
Right. I knew it came on Nick at Night, and I love Nick at Night. You know that. Like when I was a kid growing up, it's all about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Game Gear and Nick at Night. Dobie Gillis, let's do it. Partridge Family, I was always just kind of like, this is like the Kmart Brady Bunch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know which came 100%. First, but I saw the Brady Bunch first, so it was just like, I don't buy this, and I don't know that I like that Danny kid.
That Danny kid looks like trouble. I bet I'll see him on a bunch of MTV shows in the future, VH1 shows.
Probably with one or both Corys. I don't know.
That is not a Reuben I know.
I had to look it up. Did you know that I had an NBA player in my Twitch stream on Sunday night? Reuben Patterson is an NBA player.
What?
Yeah. Their achievement was the Kobe stopper. Again, I want to say that this was Reuben Patterson's achievement and not mine. The Kobe stopper. Successfully shoot down the helicopter.
Wow.
So there we go.
Quentin Tarantino's revisionist history. Shoot down the helicopter.
It's so rare an occasion where I'm looking over the achievements that people have submitted and being like, should I say this? But I want to stress that it was Reuben Patterson.
If it was an NBA player, okay, yeah, sure. Sounds good.
According to the very legit Google form that I've set up for achievements, Reuben Patterson.
Okay, all right. Big Time Trax lover of that guy.
Huge Time Trax lover. Would you like for me to edit that out?
Nope.
Good, because I'm not going to.
I didn't have any achievements.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Let me hit the time button and rewind so I can be a better co-host.
You know there's a function in Audacity to reverse shit?
I didn't know that.
Because I nearly... Piggy Palace episode, Session 12, came out
What's Piggy
on Monday.
Palace? I don't understand.
That's that Call of Cthulhu game that we do.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
All right. I thought it
releases every Monday.
Oh, all right. On patreon.com.
There's a part where Quincy has a dream and somebody speaks to him in the dream. I very nearly had him speak in reverse, but I was like, no one will ever figure that out. I'll just drag it out and make it sound creepy.
I'll just hire Missy Elliott to do it for me.
Exactly. Did you guys know that Quincy is actually Missy Elliott?
Spoilers. I don't think we've talked about this on the air before. I am still a little upset that I'm not playing a snowman in the Piggy Palace because I pushed really hard.
That was what we talked to with Blake.
Yeah,
Blake was like, just be a snowman. You're Canadian.
I pushed really hard for that, and you weren't having it. But I gotta say, people probably would have liked that snowman.
That's true.
He could have melted in the first chapter.
Hell of a time going underwater, though.
Or a really great time. Never mind. I was about to spoil some shit. Never mind. Let's just say I want the monsters to be afraid of me, a snowman.
Oh, okay.
Jack Frost style.
They're already plenty afraid of Jimmy.
No, they are not. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I hit the time rewind button. Do you have any achievements for this game?
I do not.
Okay. I have a question for you then. If you were to give this game a price, if you were to put a price on this priceless game that is Time Trax for the Super Nintendo, how much do you think that game would be?
Since they went through the trouble of making a game for this show, I'm going to imagine it's probably pretty common.
Okay.
So I'm going to say $6.67.
The Neighbor of the Beast.
Yeah, Neighbor of the Beast.
Tyler, actual retail value of Time Trax, loose, for the Super Nintendo, on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $17.12.
Oh, it's way off.
It is a very uncommon game, according to the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998, by Pat Contry, courtesy of Master Mold Mike Lanham. And now I regret not buying it because I saw it on an auction. And it was definitely not $17. It was definitely under.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy it, so whatever. Want to guess how much it is new? A new copy, Time Trax.
$75.
$150.65. There you go.
Man.
I honestly do not think that it is worth $17 loose.
No, I agree.
But, I mean, I'm consigned to the fact that I will buy it eventually, so... Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
First of all, I love you.
I love you.
And I really, this Death Wish coffee that you brewed up for me like a Powerpuff Girl.
Working for you?
It's really, it's really good.
Good stuff.
And it absolutely is working for me. It's got me in that nice, like, I should be asleep right now, but instead I'm delirious. It's got me in that zone. Which, you know what? Since I have to drive home when we're done recording, I typically don't drink. I don't partake in the alcoholic beverages because I'm worried about dying, or truly I'm more worried about getting pulled over on the way home. Yep. I'll take death over jail any day.
Death over DUI.
Right.
That's on the Moore family crest.
Right. I actually have that tattoo on my shoulder. Death over DUI. But it's done like one of those logic word puzzles. It's got death and then the line underneath it and then DUI below that. It is the nerdiest tattoo you've ever seen. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do instead is just be sleep deprived on Mondays when we record and then just drink a shitload of coffee and get in this sweet, delirious spot. Just nestle into it.
Be like that one time in DC for my players. I crafted a wind dungeon. I was tripping balls hard on Ambien.
Yeah.
And I was watching videos of Wind Waker. So I was actually like, I was so just tripped out. I was like in Wind Waker looking at my surroundings and adapting all these puzzles. Turned out really well.
Good.
I took good enough notes and I was like, what did I write? All right, this will work.
Good. I've never been in that headspace before. And I'm kind of jealous that you have, because it's like, I don't know that I can. I'm sure that I can, but it's like, I don't like the avenues that I need to go down to get there. So, I'll stay Baja blasted. That's about as far as I'm going to go.
It's pretty good.
Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
Back to me loving you. I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for brewing the coffee that Kira and Bunny sent.
You're welcome. Thank you, Kira and Bunny.
I have some more questions for you if you're game.
Hell yeah.
If you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
I would give this the beard of Back to the Future 3's Biff, the cowboy Biff.
Cowboy Biff. I can't remember his name.
Can't remember his name either.
That's going to be a problem.
So he's the version of Biff where he's tumbled headfirst into the manure stand.
Manure?
And he spits it out of his mouth. I hate manure.
But who likes it? You know what I mean?
Farmers, maybe?
Probably farmers. Yeah, probably farmers. That's a good call. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would it be?
I would give this the soldering goggles of the animated Doc Brown in the Back to the Future cartoon.
I don't remember that cartoon.
It was far more about Jules and Vern on like a Saturday morning Back to the Future cartoon.
Did you watch this?
Obsessively.
Really?
I fucking
Really?
loved it. Yeah. But I realize now it was pretty bad. Did not last long.
You know
But
what?
I consumed anything Back to the Future I could fucking find.
I watched that show a little bit, but like the Dragon Ball Z style battles always threw me off, so I just stopped watching.
In Back to the Future.
Yeah.
I mean, Jules and Vern, Electro Jules and Acid Vern.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, and if it is, I am in fact looking up the name of the Biff Tannen of Back to Future 3. I'm absolutely doing that. Buford, Mad Dog Tannen.
There you go.
Buford.
I liked Back to the Future 3.
A lot of people don't.
I did.
But
liked
I
it.
did too. I haven't rewatched it recently. Here's what I do. Whenever I feel like watching Back to the Future, I'm like, okay, I'm watching the trilogy. And I watch the first one. And then it's like, okay, that was great. And then I wait like a day. I'm like, all right, I'll watch Back to the Future 2. I'm like, okay, that was great. And then I stop. I never watched the third one. And here's why. I haven't seen the third one in a really long time. And I remember loving it as a kid. I loved the third one.
I did too. Throwing those different colored capsules into the train engine and shit.
Dude, yes, dude. I mean, absolutely. And it's like everything about Back to the Future 3 I loved as a kid. But I've heard so much bad shit about it since then that it's like I don't want to rewatch it.
You don't want to become Sean Muldowney.
No, I want it to live in I want to live in my mind palace as it is. Pristine, immaculate. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I have some more questions for you if you're game.
Hell yeah.
I have a quiz that came in from Prime Quisitor.
Prime Quisitor.
All right, nailed it. Ross Rachel Green. Are you prepared to take this quiz?
Hell yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, probably.
Then let's do it.
Let's do it.
F you.
All right.
This is a quiz about games.
F you. These are all blank. Bitch about my quizzes, will you?
This is a quiz about games starting with the letter F. Let's address the elephant in the room. There is going to be several Final Fantasy games, but I will try to phrase the questions in a way that
You'll get them wrong.
that you can tell which game I mean.
Okay.
So he's helping us. He's trying to help us.
All right.
Usual rules apply. Are you ready to begin?
I am.
First question. This is an indie side-scrolling beat-em-up with RPG elements and a retro feel. It also featured Ashley Shake. The episode, not the game.
Fist Puncher.
It sucked. I still don't like that game.
Yep.
What episode number do you think it was?
285.
67, Fist Puncher.
Really?
Yeah, it was super early on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super early on. We recorded that one in my house.
Did we? I thought we recorded. I thought we were in the garage when we recorded it.
Nope.
Oh.
We did record the Ashley Shake Culture Cast
Okay.
in the garage. Question 2. This game is a roguelike spaceship simulator game.
FTL.
What episode number do you think that was? I think we also recorded that
was,
in my house.
very early.
No, we recorded that in the annex, I think, with Wiley, right?
Did we?
Oh, God.
I'd say like 95.
It is 107. That was close. FTL : faster than light. Next question. This game allowed you to control a party of 5 and was the first not to allow you to switch characters' classes.
Final Fantasy 4.
Or 2, North American. What episode number do you think that was?
126.
126. It is 140/142, Final Fantasy 2. That is, okay, you know how you were talking about doing like randomized versions of games? I'd be okay just straight up redoing Final Fantasy 2.
Okay.
Like, not even randomized.
We didn't do that episode well.
We didn't know how to do RPGs at the time.
Yep, we did not.
If you haven't listened to our Final Fantasy 2 episode, here it is. All right. And then you go to this city and you fight this thing.
Yeah, don't do it like you're reading a strategy guide. That's a bad way to do an RPG episode. And then we, of course, can't remember it all. Do you go to Fabul then? No, I don't think you do.
Right, then we just evolves into like, wait, what happens?
It's
what
fucking
order?
awful.
It's very bad. It's very bad podcasting.
We'll play the remake for another system, like the 3D remake, and then do that episode.
Word. That's a good idea. All right, next question. This game had a more technological setting than previous titles.
Final Fantasy
6/3?
Steampunk.
What episode number do you think that was?
167.
168/170. So close. That was Final Fantasy 3. We got it. Next question. These first-person RPG games are based in the same world as a previous isometric series. It's Fallout.
Oh, okay. Good call.
I don't know which episode number he's looking for, so you just want to say Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout.
Because we did New Vegas and we did 3.
Yep.
And we did 4. So Fallout. Episode, lots of them.
201.
259, 260, 261, 262, 264, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Fallout 4.
Okay.
So we got it. Except for the episode numbers, which we
miss
never
Fallout.
get.
I already miss it so much.
Did you play the one that everyone hated?
Fallout 4?
No, 76.
Oh, no.
Well, there you go. It's right there.
Guess I could do that.
I mean, everyone hated it.
I think I do have it.
Except for Drew. I know
bought
Drew
it.
liked it.
I bought it super cheap for PS4.
There you go. Scratch that itch, baby.
Yeah, I guess I could. Poke that itch with a knife.
Pop it. Next question. This game was a spin-off that was more simplified than the main series and was the first released in Europe.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest?
What episode number do you think that was?
291.
349, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Well done, Tyler. Next question. This game spawned multiple sequels and spin-offs and features a man just trying to do his job.
Man, just trying.
Well, Home Improvement starts with an H. Fester's Quest is not a game that we have done.
Features a man just trying to do his job.
Pepsi Man starts with P.
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Pepsi totally sounds like a made-up brand you'd see an anime character drinking. You know what I mean? It's like the logo's just slightly different. Pepsi.
I still love how and every now and then in like Dragon Ball Z, you'll see soda cans. They're named Heat-Tap. So Team 4-Star always does like Vegeta. Who drank the last Heat-Tap?
I love it, man. Dude, if there is not a Twitter account already, I'm sure that there is, but there is not one already that is just posting made up brands in anime. Like, that needs to exist. Rhythm Master Paul Korn, if you're listening, that needs to exist. Birth that into the world. But this game spawned multiple sequels. Let's start with that. All right, let's keep that in mind.
Starts with an F.
Starts with an
multiple sequels.
Multiple sequels and spin-offs. So there's a lot of these fuckers. And features a man just trying to do his job.
Final fight. The mayor's just trying to run the city.
I mean, can we pass on this one and come back to it? Because maybe Final Fight, if you know what I mean, maybe we can like.
It has to be a late one because it has to be Final Fight 2.
That'd be super late though, man.
Be very late.
It could also be Final Fantasy 1, maybe.
Here's the light just trying to do their job.
Right? I mean, I don't know. All right, let's pass on that one for now. Next question. This 32-bit spin-off featured an isometric battlefield and bitmap sprites. Not Into the Breach, because that starts with an I. Man, this fell apart.
Yep.
This fell apart fucking fast. Final Fantasy Tactics?
That's
Final
the only
Fantasy
thing
Tactics.
I can think about.
It has to be.
Okay.
What episode number do you think it was?
315.
377 and 378 Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay, so it's not Final Fight 2.
Not Final Fight 2. Man, every time I think of Final Fantasy Tactics, I think about the first time I played it and being like, I know I had to have said this on that episode, but it's like, man, that whole like cinematic with them riding chocobos, and it's like, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes. And then the game starts, and it's like, what is this? What happened?
So different.
It is so
God,
different.
it is one of the best games of all time, in my opinion.
It's a good game.
Man.
It's a good game. I like the War of the Lions, like,
Oh, okay, yeah. The PSP
redo.
War of the Lions
Yeah.
is the superior version.
just because it's like, man, all of a sudden the story is like, okay.
Get the cut scenes and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it is the best possible version.
Next question. This is the first online version of this series. Final Fantasy XI.
Yep.
What episode number do you think that was? That was recent. We recorded that in your now bedroom.
Yeah.
Now you're just now bedroom.
480.
455, 456, Final Fantasy XI.
right.
I really enjoyed doing those episodes
It
with
was.
Miller.
It's good to have Miller on.
And we got some of that Final Fantasy 14, a little bit of talk about that in there too. I liked it a lot. Last question until we go back to the one that we passed. This video game adaptation of a game show asks questions that were previously asked as a survey. Family Feud. You didn't even need to finish the survey part. We knew it. What episode number do you think that was? That was very recent. 18? What episode number is
that was
this?
30 episodes ago?
I
It's
don't
like
know.
545, like 530.
5:30. Locking it in. It is 5:25. Family Feud. Okay, we're back to the one we passed on. This game spawned multiple sequels and spin-offs and features a man just trying to do his job. Final Fight 2.
I don't think, no, it's much later we did Final Fight 2. I don't think it's Final Fight now.
This is going to be between 349 and 377. So we
that
were
Genesis
talking about
territory?
We were talking about. I think it might have been, maybe
What was the previous game?
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. So it's weird that this is my lot. This is my train of thought.
Mystic Quest is in the first room.
Right. I do the same thing. It's based on where we recorded it.
Yep.
So that was in the now bedroom.
Yep. Now Artsy AJ's room.
We were talking about Genesis games in Kenna's room at the time. So I don't know, man.
Lawnmower Man. Falco.
A man just trying to do his job. Not Paperboy. That starts with a P.
Yeah,
and that's a boy, not a man. He has yet to get his dick wet.
Financial Man.
Not Wall Street Kid. Hey, did you guys love Wall Street Kid? How about Financial Man?
Fiasco. Frisco. Fart.
You guys love Hardee's sandwiches? We got the Frisco Melt game.
Let's see. All right, let's start with an F. Let's go to the alphabet. A. F-A. Anything?
Is there a Final Fantasy? Like
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Let's just call it.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no
now
clue.
you're just summoning an elder
I'm
god.
just trying.
Yeah.
Fatagan.
Fa fi fo fa. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Fatagan Fatag Cthulhu Arlier.
Five Nights at Freddy's is the answer.
Yep. I wouldn't have gotten
Never would have gotten there.
wouldn't have gotten there.
Nope. 362, episode 362, Five Nights at
there.
Freddy's.
Good call. I forgot about that.
Yep, that was a good one. You got us, Ross. I really enjoyed the quiz. Thank you.
Yeah, very good quiz. You want to take some calls?
You know I do. What's our phone number while I get that set up?
That would be 270-883-2555. TADPOG lines are all open to get your voicemail.
Leave us a voicemail, preferably something like that ends in a question.
Under 3 minutes and a good conversation starter.
Exactly. Yeah.
And preferably not while you're driving down the road. You're very hard to hear.
Yeah, quiet environments are always the best. Do. You remember Mentos? They're still around, right?
Yeah, but they're mostly dropped into Diet Cokes nowadays.
Henry really wants to do that. So we're going to do that. Yeah.
Nice.
He got so disappointed because he pulled some of that. You know that Walmart brand carbonated water that I'm always drinking? Mm-hmm. He shook one of those up and was like, I want to open this. And I was like, first of all, do it outside. Second of all, it's not going to be what you want it to be. Just don't get your hopes
Go
up.
ahead and know now, nothing in life is going to be exactly what you want it to be.
I mean,
except for a blowjob.
yeah. Ask your mom. She'll tell you it's great. Henry, stop. Don't listen to that. But your mom's like really good. All right, first call.
Hey, all of my children.
Do you want to just go ahead?
Best ever.
You just want to go ahead and rename this episode the one where Tyler and Dave explain to their children that their moms give excellent head. Parentheses, sorry kids, close parentheses.
Do not listen, only for kids in 20 years.
Attention all Holland more kids.
In 2192.
With this is our time capsule. All right, we got a call here. First call of the night coming from, I believe this is Rhythm Master Paul Korn of being mentioned several times in this episode fame. Paul, you're on.
Hey, TADPOG, this is Paul Korn, Rhythm Master of Note. I figured that I would take a little bit of time and just call you with some anime recommendations that you will not have time to watch because you are adults with children, but...
Whom we definitely do not talk about blowjobs around. Just for the record. If they hear it, it's on their... They just hit play.
Still, I am going to say it anyway. So, I figured I'd start with something that's pretty mainstream as far as these things go. I'm sure you've both heard of it. My Hero Academia. The reason that I'm bringing it up is
I do want to watch that.
I am not a fan of it. Yeah, I tried it because everyone loves it, man. Everyone loves it. I guess.
Well, I don't like fairy tale, so I mean, stuff that's highly acclaimed isn't always my jam.
I feel like I'm missing out because it's like everybody loves this anime and I don't like it. It like hits me. I don't like it on two different levels. Like the art style kind of throws me off because they definitely try to do this like in some characters and the style changes per character, which I guess is cool, but I don't really like. Like the Captain America figure is like very much drawn like in an American kind of style, and I don't like that at all. So all right, strike one, Paul.
Keep trying.
I think that a lot of its appeal is very similar to that of Naruto, which I know
So
you
it's
guys
for me.
are really into.
You probably would really like it. As much as everyone else in the world loves it, and I know you love Naruto, you probably would really like it.
Love Naruto.
Especially Tyler.
There you go.
In case you don't know, it's about a bunch of kids that are going to a superhero school. They all have special powers. They all do interesting things, and so you get to see a lot of interesting interactions between a lot of very distinct personalities and a lot of very distinct powers. It's really good. It's one of those things that's probably going to be the next big long runner, kind of like Naruto, or One Piece or Bleach or whatever. But so far it's only 3 seasons into its anime run. So, I would highly recommend it. But yeah, check it out. I will call you guys with another anime recommendation sometime soon. All right. See you later. Bye.
Thank you, Paul. I always appreciate anime recommendations because it's like I don't have a lot of time to watch anime. And because of that, like I don't have a lot of time finding something that I like. You know what I mean? Like, so it's nice to have somebody who watches a lot of anime to give recommendations because like, okay, I'll try this.
Because I had you watch the Naruto and Pain fight on Saturday after we did Piggy Palace. Because I wanted you to see the shift in the art style in that fight and that fight alone.
Which I barely noticed.
Nothing else does that.
I have a BFA, barely noticed it. Clearly, I made the right decision in life. But I think it's because I was not accustomed to the animation style of Shippuden, which
it is different than Naruto.
I'm accustomed to little baby boy Naruto, getting into mischief and stuff. I really like that. I really like that aspect of Naruto, which is why I don't know that I could.
Shippuden is teenager Naruto,
and it's like
he's
I'm
16.
I'm not into that as much. I like it when they're.
You don't want to watch Boruto where Naruto's in his 30s?
Maybe. How old is Boruto? Is she like Naruto's age at the beginning of Naruto? Then I might actually like that more than Shippuden. I
like Boruto a lot. People give it shit, but I do like it.
Well, then maybe I do.
People talk about how good the manga is, and I've read the manga. So the manga is just like fucking mind-blowingly good. Like Boruto the anime, like I like it.
Yeah,
it gets shit, but I like it.
Okay. Out of the 3, Naruto, Shippuden, and Boruto, like how do you rank them?
Shippuden
at top.
Shippuden up top.
Okay.
And except there's one fight in Boruto that is better than anything I've ever seen in any of the other shows.
But that exception does not elevate it to top level.
Not to top level.
That makes sense.
And I've got a soft spot for Naruto, but Naruto has so much filler.
Filler, sure.
So much filler. And trust me, I love it. But so I guess I'd probably have to say Shippuden, which Boruto has only had, like, its run is still very short in comparison. So, like, I'd put Boruto and Naruto on the same level.
Are there more Naruto episodes than there are Super Nintendo games?
I think they're like 500.
Okay. All right. Super Nintendo wins.
Nintendo
Take that,
wins.
Naruto. I'm late to this party, but I have been watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I want to start watching that.
Watch it.
Yeah?
Watch it.
Okay.
Yes, dude. Like, I'm not super far into it, so I don't know if I'll stay with it. Because, like, it's over 100 episodes, I think. So it's like, I don't know how long I'll be on that bus. But for right now, it's like very much enjoying it. And I think that you would enjoy it too.
Okay. Because I've really thought about it. I see a lot about it on Reddit all the time.
Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like in the first 3 episodes, like something happens where
is it a Bizarre Adventure?
It's super bizarre. Actually,
oh, so it's like it is handcrafted. Like, I want to make an anime with Dave Moore in mind.
No.
What am I going to do?
No, I'm teasing. At this point, it is not super bizarre, but in the first 3 episodes, something happens where it's like, I thought of you. I was like, man, I want to talk to Tyler about this because this is a neat way of doing this kind of thing.
All right.
I'm trying to be as vague as possible. But yeah, man, that has been okay. So every night I haven't been able to watch it. It's like, fuck, I want to watch more of it. But I gotta watch Time Trax.
Yeah. Yeah, you go point.
All right. So thank you, Paul. I appreciate your call. Next call. This is coming in from 562.
Hi, TADPOG. This is Terrified Michelle.
Terrified Michelle.
I have a question for you that everybody also says is a similar type of question. It's going to rival the sitting versus standing poop question.
Whoa. That's a big
Rival
claim.
the what question?
The poop, whether you poop sitting down or standing up.
Ooh, it is that big claim, Michelle. Okay.
Or I guess wipe. Is that wipe. Not many people.
We poop sitting down.
Not many people poop standing up, I guess. Which also reminds me of that GIF that was posted in TADPOG Nation a long time ago that Dennis and I lost our minds, like trying to figure out if it was real, how it was possible, how someone could launch a turd from their butt. Like a 3-point shot into the toilet. Anyway, Terrified Michelle continues.
To wipe, my question is, do you look at the toilet paper after you wipe before you put it in the toilet, or do you just blindly throw it in? Jamie?
Would you like to hear the rest of the call, or would you like to go ahead and answer?
Well, you gotta say no. I mean,
no.
That would be more work for me to pull it out from behind me and look at it.
Do you really not look at it?
No.
Do you really not look at it?
Like, yeah, no.
You don't look at it?
No.
How do you know when you're
after
done?
I blow my nose?
Wait.
I look at after my nose after I blow my nose. I'll look at the paper. But after I wipe, no.
I did not like how that went. I got really worried for a minute when we're talking about wiping your ass and you're like, not after I blow my nose. It's like, whoa, how are you alive? Stop doing that.
No, I just drop it straight in.
How do you know you're done wiping your poop?
I get resistance.
You get resistance?
Yeah, when you're wiping. When it's not slick anymore, it's like, okay, I'm done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Terrified Michelle was right. This is a divisive topic. Oh, I totally look. You got to look. You got to look. Otherwise, you got to get isn't like 2 points of confirmation better than 1?
No, I Tim Allen it.
Wait, what episode of Home Improvement was that? Was that Galaxy Quest?
I'm pretty sure that was an episode. Yeah, that was an episode of Home Improvement. Where
Wilson's
I wipe 4 times and I drop it. No more, no less. If it's not enough, oh well, I'll get it next time around.
I'm a looker. I gotta get visual confirmation that nope, no brown on there. I'm done.
Blindly throws it in and I look at it.
Wait. Janie throws it in.
Yep.
And then Terrified Michelle gives confirmation.
Janie doesn't look at it. Michelle, whenever after she wipes, she does look
I
at it.
thought
They're like us.
All right, okay, I gotcha. I thought Janie was like, Michelle, come in here.
I don't even know what I'm done, but I'm not looking at this.
Michelle, am I done? Pooping in that household takes 20 minutes.
That's why Michelle wants to go ahead and be in there with her.
Just a relay, playing a game of telephone. Am I done pooping? I love that. I love that Chris Pratt.
Send me a picture.
This reminds me of that Parks and Rec Chris Pratt outtake I fucking love so much, where he's like, how do I know when I'm done wiping? Sometimes I just wipe and it's poop. And I wipe more, just more poop. It's like a brown marker.
It's like I'm wiping a marker.
All right, terrified Michelle continues.
Because you see Aubrey Plaza just like turns her head
I
away.
know, try not to break. Yeah.
That's how I was taught. That's what you gotta do. I look at it, she blindly does it, and she doesn't want to know. She likes to pretend it didn't happen. I tell her it's important, you gotta look at it, you need to know something's wrong with it.
Yeah.
But that's me. That's all I had to ask on Tropical Capricorn. Goodbye.
Tropical Capricorn. That is a terrified Michelle. That was a call. That was a call. I think that's your best call.
Because you thought I was gonna be like, of course you look, and then it'd be a nothing burger.
You blew my mind. You blew my mind. I thought, I was like, surely it was like the do you wipe sitting or standing up. It's like, of course everyone looks. Turns out I was wrong. I just assumed.
So far we're 50-50.
Yeah. So I mean, God, I still love you, but man, wow.
We'll go in and ask all my children.
But see, I bet they all answer the same because, I mean, they were all taught to wipe presumably the same way would be my guess.
Maybe.
Because it's like, I'm thinking about, like, Henry since he has pooped on a toilet, he has wiped himself. Because it's like, I don't even want to open that door of mommy or I wipes you. It's just, I want you to be programmed where it's like, I poop, I wipe my butt.
Yep.
And he looks because I taught him to look because he asked. He's like, how do I know when I'm done? And it's like, you look at it. Is there brown on it? You're not done. So I think it's just how we were taught.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure I absolutely was taught that way. I don't remember.
And your dad was like, fucking look at it.
No.
Pick it back up.
No, I was okay. Little insight into me. I was potty trained. Like, it took me a long time to be potty trained. Like, Henry picked up on that shit fast. I did not, and it was because my dad would scare me when I was trying to go to the bathroom. And it's like, because I knew, like, he really wanted me to, like, be potty trained, you know? And it's not like he was mean about it or anything, but it was just intimidating.
Too much pressure.
It was, just to have someone in there with you, like, come on, you can do it. And it's like, so with Henry, like, we didn't do any of that. It was just like, here's an owl that is a potty. Just, if you feel like you need to go, try it. Sit on the owl, see how it goes. And he was potty trained at 3. So it's all right. I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way, but ooh, good Foley. You are done with that Goldschlager apple
my
juice.
Goldschlager apple juice means the show's over.
I got one more call.
Let's do one more call.
Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
We got another call from Rhythm Master Paul Korn. Let's see what is up with that.
Hey, TADPOG, it's Rhythm Master Paul Korn again. I'm going to just jab at you about anime for a minute.
I need you to say your full title, Paul, when you call.
Rhythm Master Cute Butt Paul Korn?
Yeah.
Of Call of Cthulhu Piggy Palace fame?
Yep.
Ultimate library to Call of Cthulhu 1991.
So this week I figured I'd tell you about something that is airing this season. It's called The Promised Neverland. I mentioned this briefly on an episode a while back, last time I was on.
I've heard it's great. I haven't checked it out.
And its anime adaptation is superb. They handle tension really well. It's about a bunch of kids that are in an orphanage that turns out to actually be a farm for demons. So the demons are raising free-range children to eat, and it's really messed up. There's a lot of mind.
If you're not a demon, if you're a demon, it sounds great. That's like veal, right? If you're a demon and you're eating a kid, that's like veal.
Exactly.
Do you like veal?
I haven't had a ton of veal.
This isn't Are You a Demon test. I'm just curious.
I'm not a huge beef guy.
No?
Yeah, I mean I like burgers.
Yeah.
I'm not super crazy about steak. You'll very rarely ever see me get a steak whenever I go out anywhere. I could easily be a pescatarian and be cool.
Really?
Yep.
Nah, I couldn't. I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
What about lamb? Do you like lamb?
I do like lamb.
So you do eat baby animals?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I do too.
Oh yeah.
Lamb is better than veal. Lamb is really good.
I love lamb.
Because
didn't have it until culinary school. Wasn't a thing around here I could ever get anywhere.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I think they have it at Kroger now.
But yeah, I'm sure they do now.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Years ago, no, absolutely not. You wouldn't find that here. But mutton, I like mutton, but it's really greasy.
I have to go to the Fancy Farm picnic if I want to eat mutton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a Renaissance festival. It's usually where I have it.
I've been since I left DC. I've not been to a Ren Fair.
Dude, I need a Scotch egg stat. Real bad. I want a Scotch egg.
They had an Irish they had a Scottish food truck outside of the hospital in Louisville that Melissa and I went to. It had the best fish and chips I've ever had. And
Really?
some fucking amazing Scotch eggs.
Nice.
Yep.
What's an Irish egg?
It's the same, but it's covered in Guinness.
You dunk it in Guinness like a donut. Paul continues.
Games, since the kids aren't capable of, fighting their way out of this situation, and a lot of, it reminds me a lot of Death Note in the whole, mind games and I know that you know that I know that you know this thing, but you don't know that I know that you know this thing kind of back and forth. So if you're into that, I would highly recommend it. It's top tier stuff, my favorite anime this season. And so far it's only 10 episodes in, or maybe 11, I forget. But it's supposed to only be running 12 or 13 episodes for this season. They're about to wrap up the first major arc, and I can't recommend it enough. The manga is really good too. If you have the Shonen Jump app, I would recommend checking that out. So yeah, give it a look, tell your friends, and I will call you next week with a little bit more weed nonsense. All right, you guys.
Weed nonsense?
All right, weed nonsense.
All
Love
right.
it.
New segment. Weed nonsense starring Paul Korn. Just kidding. I know it's weeb. But man, there's an opportunity there to mix two things, two hobbies, which have never been mixed before.
Weeb and weeds.
Thanks for calling, Paul. Thanks for the recommendation. Promised Neverland looks really good. I haven't watched it. I was really on board until you mentioned Death Note because I hated Death Note.
Oh, really?
It's another one
Man.
where it's like everyone loves My Hero Academia. And I promise I'm not being a contrarian. Here's what I did not like about Death Note. I hate all of these characters. Everyone sucks. And maybe a good...
Did you see Misa?
No.
I liked Misa.
No, I did not. So I need to hang in until Misa
Although
shows up.
there is a 10 episode stint, which is very weird in Death Note. It's the Will Ferrell in the Office episodes of Death Note.
Does Golden Boy show up or something?
it gets full that kind of style for a few episodes, and it's really fucking weird and makes no sense. And then they just go right back.
Bizarre. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Just Death Note's not for me.
Okay, all right.
Give me Golden Boy, Cowboy Bebop, Neon Genesis Evangelion,
I think
Space Dandy.
I think you like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I really do want to watch it. I liked Full Metal Alchemist, but I just never finished it because I guess I got addicted to Final Fantasy 11. I don't know.
Yeah, that happened to me for a lot of stuff.
So I mean, there is that. And it's hard to watch anime and do something else because a lot of anime is subtitled.
You're right, 100%.
And it's I don't have anything against dubs. There are Golden Boy, which I mentioned earlier, way better dubbed than subtitled. A million %. Nikki and I were watching Golden Boy just a couple nights ago, and we were having the conversation where I was like, Golden Boy is great because it's the voice actor of Golden Boy, the English voice actor, does an amazing job. Doug Smith, thank you, carries that. While meanwhile, he is an oasis in a desert that is typical anime dubbing of the 90s, where it's everyone else is awful.
Yeah.
But Doug, with his liver and onions, is in there fucking killing it.
Yes. Oh my God.
Anyway.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes.
You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, and Spotify.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I guess I don't really like anime. I don't really know. I mean, I like it when they're naked and fucking and stuff. So
just hentai.
I guess just hentai then.
You're Stanley.
Yeah, and then every now and then I watch anime. But for the most part, it's like, I like anime, but I want them to fuck,
Some
though.
fucking anime.
Yeah.
Golden Boy is it's an edge boys. He almost fucks so much.
Yeah, that's what ecchi, I think is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. I can spell it.
ECCHI.
I can spell it because I searched for it, but I do not know how to say it.
You can find us on all those platforms. Hey, like
Hi.
our page, TADPOG. You like funny memes? We're trying there. So TADPOG
On Facebook.
on Facebook. Do you like? You want to get in like the deep sort of? We have a locked members club, so you can get in there. That's where like that dank shit is. That's where deeper conversation about the show happens. So TADPOG Nation,
That's also on Face.
face. And then are you just a good boy who wants to talk about everything? Get that Discord. Hey, there's a Piggy Palace channel on there that I love to death.
And on the Discord this month, we have nominated to play Secret of Mana. So we're taking February. We're going to play Secret of Mana, share our experiences, any content that we've created for it, any streams or anything like that. So if that sounds like your jam, come join us on Discord. That's bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. That'll get you an invite.
You can find us TADPOG_podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep. I stream these games that we talk about on Twitch on Sunday nights, twitch.tv/TADPOG_podcast.
Do you like us? Do you want to get a shirt of us? Because we have a small shirt library.
We do.
That's shirts.tadpog.com.
And our Shirtnasium.
Shirtnasium. Perfect.
We hand select them and douse them in vinegar before we ship them to you.
It smells so good.
You like your shirts pickled, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, all right.
Perfect. Do you want to send us something like Bunny and Kira did?
Yeah.
Send it to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
Again, thank you for the coffee.
Yes.
I think this would have been a very different episode had you not sent it. So thank you.
And again, if you want to call us, 270-883-2555. Most importantly, got that Patreon.
We do. We have a Patreon with a bunch of bonus content on it. If you enjoyed this, then you probably will enjoy at least one thing that we have on Patreon. You can find us on at patreon.com/TADPOG. Thank you to everybody who donates on there. It's really nice to know that there are people out there who want to help us succeed. Like that is a really uplifting feeling. So thank you very much. We do have specific people to thank this week, but I don't have that list in front of me because apparently I don't do that anymore. But Tyler's on it, right? You got that?
Yeah. So on Patreon, I want to reach out and make a personal thanks for riding that penny train, Nolan Clemens. It's over here behind the soundboard.
Toot toot. That's too far of a reach. Sorry, I might spill this coffee on the soundboard.
Since I read it, I'll do it.
Oh man, is this a first? I don't think you've ever blown it before.
Not since I think we originally got it, maybe.
I look at my poop after I wipe. Are you sure you want to put your mouth on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you look in the toilet when you're done?
Yes.
All right. So like
It's always the same thing, but
but one day it might not be. So I'm glad you're looking. I'm glad you're looking. I'm glad you're getting a visual on your poop.
So Nolan Clements, this is for you.
Good blow.
Yeah, that's what they all say. So now, before we get any deeper into the show, take this key up from around my neck.
Yes.
I'm gonna go over here to this display case I have. Unlock it. Pull up this Louisville Slugger signed by one Donnie Jeffcoat.
Okay.
I'm going to put this in on the ground, put my head on the other end, and spin in a circle to point my nose in a hole in a random direction. It's a prayer we all love so much.
Okay, go for it.
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. You look like you found the spot now. Stop.
The tablet has spoken. I have spoke to the randomizer via the tablet. We are going to be playing 413.
F's?
P's.
P's. Plock.
Unfortunately, not Plock. Let me give you a hint. We have spent some time with this famous video game character recently.
Pepsi Man.
Do you remember earlier how we were like, man, we haven't played a lot of time travel games, Boy, I forgot one that featured a famous video game character from the 80s.
I have no idea.
Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. Let's get on the fucking bad, weird train.
There we go.
That's some Pac-Man games pretty close in episodes.
I know.
For
It's
the
wild.
randomness.
I feel like we just did Pac in Time.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Well, it probably was, but it doesn't feel like it was. But this is that weird ass point and click Super Nintendo shit with
I've never played
Monster Pac-Man.
I've never played it.
That's a good pull.
Monster
Oh,
Pac-Man?
he looks like a fucking monster. Yeah,
Okay.
he's the bipedal like arms and legs walking around Pac-Man in like a farm town.
You literally just described a human being.
Yeah, that's monstrous for Pac-Man.
The real monsters.
Man is the real monster, David.
Eating pellets, destroying the spirits of the world.
Yeah. Now make that into a man. The horror knows no bounds.
The hooler.
Let's see. Our theme song is Moonstone More Tribe. You found the link to that track in the show notes at tadpog.com.
Yep. This episode was executive produced by the following people: Usurper Grimm, God Emperor Alex Pena, Cousin David Galino, Laud Milani Dennis, Milani. Can't even.
Melania Malini.
God, I'm fucking done. Platinum member Brett Miller, the Eightfold Daniel Abernathy, Master Cycle Baron Kevin Link, and executive producer Dig Dougie. Thanks, y'all, for going above and beyond on Patreon. We really appreciate it.
I think I missed a pledge by Scott McKeon
I'm glad that you caught
on
it.
TADPOG.
You want to do
Because I'll look down to January since this spanned January, February.
Can I tell you that's why I don't like reading the names?
Yeah.
It's because I'm terrified that I'm going to leave somebody out, and I do not want to deal with that pressure anymore.
But now we're in February, so it's fine.
All right,
It'll be fine.
so we're good? We got everybody?
We're good.
Oh, well, let me hit the rewind time button so we can get him in there where he belongs. Ready?
Oh, okay. Scott McKeon.
All right, nailed it. Thanks for listening, everybody.
How you going to close this one out, Dave?
I'll close it out as Tug Masterson.
Okay, and I'll close it out as, what did I say?
Did you answer?
Did I say? I thought I said something.
Look, that was like 2 hours ago.
It was.
There's no
It was a long
telling.
time ago.
Let me hit the time rewind button.
I'll close it out as...
We can both do Tug Masterson.
All right, Tug Masterson.
All right.
So until next time, Gabago Gabragorn. So Phil sent us an Ask Reddit search he thought would yield some good conversation.
Who?
Sandwich Pope Phil
Oh,
Hawkins.
right. Yeah, okay.
What innocent search turned out to be porn?
Wife car.
Wife car. Oh, God. Shake is such a fucking dick for doing that, but man, it's fucking funny.
Wife car.
Cream pie. Liz Vicious, wife car. Oh, Josh Nance's Google search history. I was in a bowling pro shop shopping for new bowling balls. Saw one called Hammer XXX. Googled it real quick without thinking of anything. Porn. All porn. Then the follow-up, similarly, I really like the movie XXX with Vin Diesel. Trying to find the website for that at 8 years old really opened my eyes.
You think Wife Car is a movie?
I hope so.
Do you think Liz Vicious Wife Car is a movie?
Wife Car starring Liz Vicious.
I haven't heard from Liz in a while. I wonder if she's still working.
It's been a minute.
I feel like her whole shtick is hard to keep up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because she'd have to be like 40 now, right?
Yeah, close, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like she was around our
that was
age,
early.
right?
That was early college.
Yeah. I'm going to do a little research.
I was looking for an edging tool at Home Depot a few years back to fix the edges of my lawn around the front sidewalk. Apparently, it's a masturbation technique that comes up when Safe Search is turned off.
All right. I see your pun. I like that. Apparently, it's a masturbation technique.
Apparently, I'd never heard of it.
Nice try. You're on Reddit.
View all 20.k comments.
How many? That's a lot of comments.
When I was about 10 and playing Morrowind for the first time, I wanted to find some high-level armor at a low level, so I Googled ebony. I saw a lot of things.
All right, Liz Vicious, allegedly born in 1987. And I say allegedly.
Ooh, that hurts.
I say allegedly because the month and day is October 31st, 1987.
Okay.
So if you're
All right.
if you're lying about part of it, you're also probably
Lying. Yeah.
there's probably like 5 years difference.
The goth thing was her shtick for anyone not familiar.
What do you mean for anyone not familiar?
Anyone who didn't masturbate in the mid-2000s.
All right, we got Liz Vicious, we got Allison.
Next Door Nikki.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man, she popped up on
There were all those weird, like, softcore sort of teens that you never actually saw naked, like back in that time.
who was the other? There was another one.
There was a blonde chick.
Right, who was like hand in hand pretty much with
Yeah.
Next Door Nikki. Nikki Sims, right?
Nikki Sims was Next Door Nikki.
Yeah, I think I saw her pop up recently on Reddit, looking much older. So it's like, is she back in pog form? That's what we need to do. We need porn star pogs.
Only independent amateur mid-2000s porn star pops.
Tyler and Dave's mid 2000 porn star pogs is what we'll call them.
Oh man,
We'll sell them on the site.
we'll start a Kickstarter for this.
That's a good idea. Let's start a Kickstarter for this.
I mean, we can just have their images, right?
Yeah, it's fine. Let's get in touch with them.
Hopefully, they're not doing anything.
What do the slammers look like?
Shit.
I hope not.
Just picture-